Hello guys, welcome back to Garage Football. Here's our live watch along for Chelsea v Leicester in the FA Cup final of 2021. Here's our live watch along. Please subscribe to Garage Football if you're new, and leave your match thoughts, comments, etc. in the live chat. So as you can see, we've got a load of guests today. So we've got Jack from KGF TV, Jack Mack, who's got his own Liverpool channel, and John, who's got his own West Ham channel. JPWHU TV's over there. Check their links in the description below. So. Thanks everyone for joining us. It should be a good final today. So we'll start with you, John. Your thoughts on the final today?
It's lovely to see the amount of people that are there. First and foremost, I mean, regardless of what happens today, it's great to see that people are back. Little bit of an issue with the amount of actual supporters that are there. 6,250 per side, and there's 22,000 people in the stadium. We'll cover that at a certain point, but. But no, it's lovely to see Leicester back at an FA Cup final for what was it, 50 odd years, and as most of us would have realised over the week, or if not especially today, that Leicester have never won the FA Cup. So
yeah,
and it's to be, and of course obviously Chelsea lost it this time last year against Arsenal 2-1. So
yeah,
both teams have got a lot to play for with this one, but I'm backing Leicester on that.
Yeah,
the underdogs.
I think we're secretly all Leicester supporters in this video today. Jack, I mean, for once, Arsenal aren't actually in an FA Cup final, so it must be weird for you watching as a neutral today. But your thoughts on today's final?
I mean, similar to John, I do kind of want to see Leicester win it just for someone new to win it, because Chelsea have won it loads of times, and Leicester have never won it. So I'm backing Leicester, but I don't know. I think Chelsea might win this, but. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Should be better than what the last watch-along was, though.
Yeah, for those that don't know, that was Arsenal Villarreal, and that was a very bad 0-0. So hopefully it won't go that. So, Holly, your thoughts? I think it's two evenly matched sides, and hopefully it'll be a good final to match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. As with most people, I think I'm a Leicester fan tonight. It'd be nice to see them win it. I always love a bit of an underdog story, so I do like Leicester. I've got a bit of a soft spot for them as well. I can't lie. Obviously not when they go up against West Ham, but the rest of the time. So it'd be nice to see them do well. It's good to see fans back in the stadium. It's weird now. I don't know what to make of it. I'm looking forward to hopefully when we get more attendance back in games. But yeah, fingers crossed Leicester can do it tonight, win their first FA Cup. That'd be fantastic.
That'd be a good story to complete. Obviously, the amazing last few years they've had. So, Jack, your thoughts on the final?
Yeah, thank you very much for letting me come on, mate. It's lovely to meet everyone on the panel today, mate. Hopefully we'll guarantee goals. Leicester have been phenomenal this season. The form the last couple of weeks hasn't been the best. Obviously, Liverpool, it's in the driving seat for top four now. But I think for Rodgers, it's going to be a massive game in his managerial career. Obviously, his wins at Celtic being probably the only trophies he's won as a manager. So if he can secure the FA Cup, it'd be a big ask, but as I said, I think that is the one question mark that has been asked of Brendan Rodgers in his time. His short management time anyway, as he's been coaching me. But I'm hoping we've got goals. Obviously, the lineup, which we'll discuss in a little second, mate. I think it's set up really for a lot of goals today, hopefully for us.
Well, for fingers crossed, yeah. It should be two shit watch-alongs in a row for me and Jack. Anyway, it's another 0-0 draw. But yeah, as you rightly say, mate, I'm expecting plenty of goals, and as John Wright says, last season's final, Arsenal and Chelsea was pretty good, 2-1 to Arsenal in the end, and even the League Cup final, 3 weeks ago, whenever it was decent on quality, but it was so one-sided to Man City, it was ridiculous. So I'm expecting it to be a lot more even today. I don't think Tottenham are going to be. There's hopefully no Tottenham shithouse today, but. Let's go through the lineups where we've got about sort of 9-10 minutes or so to kick off. So we'll start with Chelsea. So got Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal, playing the cup keeper today. Three at the back, both sides. So Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger. Wing backs Dan James, Reece James, and Marcus Alonso, and Kante and Jorginho in the middle, Ziyech, Mount, and Werner up front. So head to Leicester. So Schmeichel in goal, Fofana, Evans, and Soyuncu. Wing backs are Castagna and Thomas, Tielemans and Ndidi in midfield. And you've got Norris Perez in behind Jamie Vardo, and the fourth man probably in the country, Ian Nacho. Thoughts on that, Jack? I think, as you say, mate, two very attacking lineups.
Which Jack? Me? Oh,
Jack. Yeah. Jack. Sorry,
yeah. It's Vardy and Nacho. I'll be intrigued to see if they do get in behind. If Chelsea obviously haven't played, both sets of teams playing a free back. If depending how these both sets of teams do press, it will be interesting because Thiago Silva, when he has been isolated this season, you can really get in behind. And I think Vardy, as you mentioned, Nacho, he's been a man on form at the back end of the season. Ridiculous. I'm hoping that Vardy can get him behind. I just love Jamie Vardy. He's a nightmare to play against, especially when Liverpool played him. Pain in the backside, really. He's really frustrated us a lot anyway, but phenomenal. I think it's a big game for Timo Werner as well, mate, and I don't know, everyone else thinks as well. 100%. He is not being hit in the heights since he's moved to Chelsea, yet he's chipped in with a couple of goals and assists. I think he'll be disappointed with the start in which he's had, but coming on, he's the back end of the season, the Champions League, he's got vital and goal and assist in the European knockouts anyway, back end of it. So, yeah, can say I absolutely love as a player, everyone. There's one player in that Chelsea side that I'd love Liverpool. Obviously, we've got Fabinho, but if we didn't have Fabinho, I think he's an amazing player. He's very humble as a player. Pogba, when he plays for France, I think that's what Pogba is missing at Manchester United. He's not got the workhorse of a player that Kante is. He's so good defensively, but going forward, he's very good in initiating the press, mate.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Wouldn't disagree with any of that. Thoughts, Holly, on the lineups?
Well, I think it could be an exciting one. Like you were saying, I think Ian Nacho and Vardy, they can both be a handful. And if things play into your hands, I think they can be a big sort of force to go up against. And I always feel like Kepa's got a little bit of a mistake in him. So I reckon.
Yeah, we said before, remember, he hadn't put one in his net for a while, so today might be that day.
Today could be the day. But yeah, no, I can see. I'm hoping there'll be a lot of goals. The main thing is from the lineup. I think Werner as well, like you were saying, his form's not been fantastic. He's not had the start that I imagine he was hoping for, as well as everyone else. I've also never seen a player be offside so often. It was surprising me.
He doesn't need to be as well with his pace.
That's the thing, he's quick enough to actually get to the ball, so there's no need. So I think if he can actually stay on side, we might actually see a better performance from him tonight. So we'll find out. But yeah, decent lineup, attacking size. I like it.
Yeah, the players just about to come out. It's good, great to see their fans in the stadium, obviously. And just I think like what you guys have said. I think there's a reason I put Ian Nacho and Mount as the thumbnail in this video, because they're the both form players for both sides. I think Ian Nacho's in the form of his life. Obviously getting regular game time helps, and he's not just in the Premier League. He's got 11 for the season, which is great, but he's got 4 in the FA Cup as well. So he's shown good form in this competition as well. And for Chelsea, as I mentioned, Mason Mount's been in brilliant form in Europe and in the league. And they've got obviously Werner, who's due to he's paid big money. These are the type of games he needs to contribute in. He got Ziyech as well, and we've mentioned Kante. He seems to be back to his best under Thomas Tuchel. So plenty of good players on the show. That's for the quote, just showing Prince William, president of the FA.
And let's not forget that Michael Oliver is the referee today. So there's going to be some dodgy decisions. There's going to be possible offsides that aren't. That's a big spanner in the works as well for Leicester's game, unfortunately, because when you get a manager like Oliver a referee like Oliver in charge of a cup final, there's always going to be one winner out of these two, unfortunately. But hopefully, for a change, it would be nice to see a relatively decent cup final. Yeah,
well, at least Mike Dean or John Moss ain't in charge today. So
I was going to say Anthony Taylor. I mean, he won last season's final, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At least that's a small consolation. So players just line up, gone through the pre-match rituals. I think they're doing the national anthem now at the moment. So, well, while we're just waiting about 3 minutes or so to kick off, what's everyone's score predictions?
So I've got a horrible feeling that Chelsea are actually going to win it, but I'm going to try and be positive with what I want. I'm going to say 2-1 to Leicester.
That's exactly my thinking as well. 2-1. That's what I'm thinking. 2-1 Leicester. It'll be close. It'll be a close game today, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
3-2 Leicester. Be good for us.
I think we'd settle for that.
I'm going to say 3-1 to Leicester. I think they're just going to turn up. And Chelsea are. I think Chelsea are going to have a thought in the Champions League final, so they're not going to play as aggressive as Leicester. So I think Leicester are going to win 3-1. My
only issue with it is Leicester's front three in comparison to Chelsea's back three. That's the thing, and the other way around as well. For that matter, their front three is much stronger than Leicester's back three. So it'll be hopefully a cup final we'll talk about for a good while.
Hopefully, I just think, I don't know. I just think the big game final experience of Thomas Tuchel might get Chelsea over the line, and Chelsea obviously got very experienced players, especially Aspilicueta, etc. So I just think for that reason, I think Chelsea might end up sneaking the win. I think Chelsea 2-1. I'm going to go with.
Just to be difficult, yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, obviously, I hope that's not the case. I'd settle for 3-1 Leicester, like young Jack said.
You're right, man, 100%. And as I say, because we're all of our hearts are saying that we want Leicester to win it, but yeah, the head is saying Chelsea, unfortunately.
But no, I just think no matter what the result, just let's hope some goals and a final where both teams play some decent football. No freezing or not having the balls to play well. Just play well and see how it goes.
Yeah. Also, hopefully, no commentators curse as well, because last time we talked about that, when we did the League Cup final, Bill, we were very, very close to going to extra time.
we were. I mean, that game should have been at least 3-4-0.
Absolutely.
So, but we won't. Definitely won't be seeing Chelsea or Leicester trying to park the bus or two buses like Tottenham did on that day, and no sacking the manager earlier in the end of the week, none of that shit either. So
it's horrendous when you see that, isn't it? Like, obviously, all of our teams play a bit more attacking football, but like it's the madness of Tottenham sacking. I know it was Mini, he's playing. Man, it was so bad for Tottenham, really, but you don't sack your manager like a week before a final, do you?
I still think it was to do with the Super League, though.
Nah, it's got nothing. No, it was just the fact. It was just Daniel Levy covering his tracks for it. I know what you mean, Jack. You're right. You're right from one point of view, but it was Mourinho being sacked, so the Spurs fans had more to talk about than the ESL stuff, and it backfired massively, of course. But
the stat that come up on Sky with Pep Guardiola's managerial career, and then Ryan Mason's over 600 games to Guardiola, and then Ryan Mason's second game, and that's just
people get paid to put those graphs up, don't they? Whoever made that was pissing themselves.
I mean, whoever did that deserves some praise. That's just peak shit house, really.
Is this Chelsea's kit for next season now? We're seeing.
I think I saw there something earlier in the week. I think it is.
It's fucking awful.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty poor, isn't it?
It's like 90s Magic Eye.
Luckily, we don't support it.
Exactly.
So we're all right.
Seen those concept kits for West Ham I've been looking at. They're absolutely lovely, I think.
Yeah. We're never going to see it. Unfortunately, we never see them, Ollie, in any shape or form. But
I know, you can dream.
The three of us, we've even got more reason to back Leicester now because they're in their claret away kit. So even more reason to back them now.
Yeah, it's lovely. Like it's running straight away. Oh, good cross! No one in the
simple fish.
Great cross to no one.
Who's watching it live and who's watching it a bit behind today?
I think I might be a bit behind.
Yeah, I'm watching on
live, so
I play.
Well, me, Holly, and young Jack are watching it on the TV, and then
so me and older Jack, we can do the referee replay when we see it live. Then,
yeah.
So apologies, everyone, we're just a bit behind. So,
honestly, it's very unusual for everyone involved in a watch-along to be exactly at the same time. It's very difficult, but at least you're like 10, 20 seconds behind or whatever. But
something like that, yeah.
Like I think I was watching one where with Dennis has been on the field and he's like a minute behind. Like a whole minute doesn't sound a lot, but when you watch it on, it feels like a year.
Yeah,
have to hold your celebrations.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, yeah.
Nice, there we go.
That's a good ball for yeah. Just no one in the box there. That's a problem.
Oh, he waits for it. Oh, well cleared by Fofana, I think it was number 3. Yeah.
Getting a lot of Leicester players back quickly.
Yeah, they're going to have to with Werner on the pace, Ziyech and his balls, and Mount running from deep. That's where, and I think it's good news for Leicester though that Johnny Evans back in the side. They've missed him, and then Soyuncu's been injured for quite a lot of the season, so getting them both back fit. But I think Fofana's been absolutely outstanding. I think so.
Yeah,
a lot of clubs have been after. A lot of clubs were after him, and I think you can see why based on his performances, and he's only going to get better. That's the front.
He's so young, isn't he? So
that's the thing. From West Ham, me, John, and Ollie will probably back me up on this. That he's made the impact for Fofana that we hoped Diop would have over a sustained period of time.
Yeah.
After the first season, he's dropped off massively, but still like Fofana. I think there's more to go. Oh my god, what is that? My Soyuncu. I've just picked him up, and he's done that.
See, commentators curse, man. We don't do this.
What the hell was that? I think he pressed like square instead of X on the PlayStation in that move.
What do you guys think of Abraham being left out of the squad entirely?
I'm amazed, but sometimes big name managers, they like to sort of make their stamp on things and drop one of the sort of so-called key players. And unfortunately for Tammy Abraham, he's the culprit.
I think he's
as well as Tammy Abraham.
Sorry, Karen.
You want to know? I'll let you go. Go on, I'll let you go.
I was just saying, I think it's like mad to keep a player like that on the bench, but I guess things are working well for them at the moment. And like you were saying, managers do like sometimes make a big decision and stick to their guns with what they think's best for the team. But he's a massive talent to not even be including in the squad, isn't he?
He's not even on the bench. Yeah, I find that amazing. Yeah, I find that amazing.
So
I'll have to move, won't he, in the summer? I think he will.
Yeah.
This screams to me, Bill, of when we did the North London derby, because of Aubameyang being out of the squad entirely because he turned up late. It screams to me that something's going on behind the scenes with Abraham. Is their highest goal scorer?
I think he said. I think Tuchel said something about a month ago. I think he said something in the press about. I don't want to be misquoting him or anything, but I don't know if it was. I think he said he wasn't quite. Abraham wasn't quite at the level he was expecting. Now I don't know what that meant in terms of attitude off the pitch or actual performance, but it didn't sound that brilliant. And to come out publicly and say it, I thought that was a bit more ballsy. Fair play to him. So yeah, but it's worked out for Chelsea because they haven't really missed Abraham that much, have they? So
no, exactly.
They're telling us a really good team as well. I wouldn't be surprised next Premier League season if we really see them sort of step it up again. Just even this season, they've come on leaps and bounds, haven't they? And players like Mount are really making a big difference now. So,
well, yeah, I mean, that's what you get when you hire Thomas Tuchel, one of the best coaches in the world. And no disrespect to Frank Lampard, he's nowhere near that level. So, what do you expect to happen?
Well, not yet. Anyway, let's be honest, guys. He's 3 years into football management. He's not going to be.
No, of course. I mean, young Jack will say about Arteta as he got a job too early. I think that's a similar conversation with obviously Lampard at Chelsea.
Exactly. But also at the same point, it kind of finger points that Chelsea are more happy to pay, to play Werner because it costs more than what Abraham did. So, I mean, like we're saying, Werner's not exactly stepping up to the plate in terms of Chelsea standards in comparison to him. But at the same time, he costs 25 million. So of course he's going to be playing every week. That's the bad side of it.
And as well as Chelsea's academy,
I was just saying their setup as well. I know Werner, he is a good striker, but their setup, like the three at the back with the wing backs, it just suits someone like Tammy Abraham or Giroud to get on to the headers because they whip in crosses all the time, but Werner's never able to get there because he's not tall enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Kai Havertz, has he been playing as like a false nine last couple of weeks as well? He's a good physical presence, but it's the thing with Chelsea Football Club that since Abramovich come over, they're never going to allow their academy. They buy so many talents from across the globe in terms of obviously young players, and then stick them in the academy, and they don't get a sniff. They never get the opportunity to play. Obviously, Mason Mount, probably one of the very few in recent times. Obviously, you had Lampard, obviously at West Ham, and then when he moved. So, but yeah, it's going to be a case of Tammy. For me, like Sancho and certain players, Bellingham when he went to Dortmund, there's going to be a time in these careers where you just need, even if you need to go abroad, Tammy, he just needs to get first team football because when he was at Villa, he was getting the opportunities and you could see. And prior to obviously Timo and Havertz coming to Chelsea, he was playing very well, wasn't he? As you mentioned.
But this is the thing, man. If Chelsea didn't have that transfer embargo the season before last, I don't think anybody would have known how good Tammy Abrahams is now. Because of it, they had no choice but to play him.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, that's probably why they brought Lampard in.
Yeah, PR stunt, big time. Like Wilshere coming to us, Arteta going to Arsenal, etc., etc. It's all bring the fans on side, sort of thing.
Definitely.
Chelsea have had a better thing so far.
Yeah.
Then there's something after a good cross by James. I think there's something they've got to be aware of, Leicester, because Reece James' delivery from the right is absolutely fantastic. So they've got to be aware of him.
Falling all over the place.
It's a bit of respite for Leicester.
Why is Tuchel staring at Rodgers like that? He's probably staring at him.
He's probably trying to figure out how short he is, mate. That's what might have something to do with it.
I swear Rodgers was getting smaller and smaller every time he managed Liverpool.
Well, especially
he was 6'2" when he first took over.
What was it? 6-1. His final, the Stoke game.
Oh yeah. Don't remind me of that, mate. So we've had Rodgers, man. Not Rodgers. Brendan, Roy Hodgson back in the day. Remember those days? Bloody hell.
Hodgson.
All right, chat. I'll ask you this question because I've been floating around this a few conversations of mates of mine, but I've never actually had a chance to speak to a Liverpool supporter yet. Do you reckon Hodgson got the Liverpool job because of what he did with Fulham in the Europa League?
Yeah, most definitely, mate.
100%.
Yeah, it was weird as well. Like he come to Anfield and don't get me wrong, you come to Liverpool if you're managing Liverpool. Like I think Jose, that's why he'd never deep down Jose would love to manage Liverpool, but I don't think fans would accept him because just the negative football. Yeah. And Roy come to Liverpool and just sat there rubbing his face every single week. Like he didn't have a clue, mate. Like if you're playing the football like a Palace, no disrespect, but you come to certain football clubs, even West Ham, you'd expect a certain type of brand of football.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just one of those weird things that you'd wake up and it's like, is this a dream or something?
And it's interesting to see that Lampard's linked with, well, not linked, he's rumoured to take over from Hodgson at Palace if Hodgson steps away at the end of this contract this season. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a big job at Palace because they've got like a ridiculous amount of players out of contract.
Yeah.
There's going to be no one left at the end of the season.
And Hodgson being one of them, so it's a big job whoever takes it on.
Yeah.
It was karma what happened to Lampard though. After years of getting managers to sack, the players turned on him.
I don't think he helped himself though. I mean, it's weird because I've read, some stuff on the Athletic and stuff, which is obviously incredibly reliable. And apparently, his communication with some of the players wasn't that brilliant either, especially though he's not in the team, which I've just found surprising. So Lampard didn't retire a huge amount of time ago. So
to a degree, mate, it's probably down to the fact that Lampard's not used to doing it yet. He's used to having people around him on his level.
Yes,
and he's expecting everyone to step up automatically. He's not used to it yet. As I say, he's only been 3 years in management. You know, it's see what happens in 10, 15 years' time. See how he gets on with that.
Yeah, still
They
too
got
early.
responsibility 3 years in.
I mean, people were saying that's the difference between why Lampard went and why Gerrard is still managing now, is because their approaches to life, their two approaches to life and football are two totally different things. But having said that, you know, no disrespect to any SPL supporters watching, but it's not like it's the Premier League at the same time.
Yeah, you need time as a manager, innit?
Absolutely. And in the Premier League, you don't get it. Every other league, the Premier League and the Championship, you don't get it. Every other league in the world, you get it.
Yeah, but no matter who you are, though, you've got to get, like Jack said about Roy Hodgson. I mean, Liverpool gave him endless amount of time, but there comes a point where you've got to change. You've got to change it, and it's probably might be the same with Arteta at Arsenal. There comes a point where if the results aren't there, something's got to change.
Yeah, but I'm probably not, because our board are just idiots. So, honestly, he should have gone ages ago. But the problem is we had this conversation before with Arteta. Is no one's going to want to join, like a top manager's not going to want to join our club at the moment because it's just in utter crap. So you just got to stick with him really and just try and help him out and see what you can do. But yeah, he should have been gone quite a while ago. But
the argument is there, Jack, that you can say that about any top side of the Premier League football teams. They're all being run just as badly in one form
exactly,
or another.
Yeah. Especially, and it's come out recently, hasn't it, with everything, and it's just made it even worse, which is started the protests, which is good thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes me and Bill were talking about this last week. I think it was. It makes me laugh that Newcastle supporters have been doing it for the last 10, 15 years. We've been doing that the last 6 or 7, and yet now everyone else is doing it. It's like, now hang on, something's wrong in football.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
it's a problem.
It made me laugh what Graham Souness said about the Glazers the other week, because he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. Because they've been campaigning against the Glazers. Even before they took over, they had like the yellow and green scarf movement and stuff like that. And I'm sure David Beckham even endorsed it. And he's not one for saying controversial things, David Beckham. But even he got involved in it. And that was a 2005-ish, 2006. That was a long time ago. So
exactly, but things settled down once they started getting to the Champions League on a regular basis, then the Europa League on a regular basis. But yeah, at the same point, like with Arsenal supporters, when the checkbook's not there, it really, all the supporters see everything years before the rest of the world does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's going to be an interesting few years in football, just seeing what happens, because I can't imagine the fans all forgetting the Super League things too quickly. But results can only do so much, even if they had an unbelievable season. I think the fans suddenly feel, even at clubs where they've maybe either ignored it or not felt it as much, they're finally feeling very separated from the board and the owners and things like that. So it's
the same with us, Hollis, isn't it? It's because this is probably one of our best seasons for 2 decades.
Yeah.
And we still can't wait to get rid of the owners. So
it says it all, doesn't it? When results aren't what kind of matters. Have you seen much about the 50+1 model? The more I've looked into it, the more I've been like, that could be a great solution.
Absolutely. We've loads of people who've been banging the drum for it for years.
Yeah.
Really good shoots. Oh, that's wide. Harmlessly wide. He's
harmlessly wide.
He's still in his own box with me, lad. I'm gone.
Because me and Jack haven't seen it yet. You politely saying that he's put it into Rose Ed, because that's harmlessly wide.
No, honestly, it just like, one of your favourite phrases, John, a daisy cutter.
Little pea roller.
Yeah. No, he's got a shot on him, Rudiger, usually, but that
he does. He's a very talented player, and some may say part of the reason, if not just seen it now, part of the reason why Chelsea are in the way they are. But fair play to him, he's come as Zorro today, so fair play to him.
I was waiting for someone to mention his mask.
I know, I'm Batman.
That's credit to Tuchel, because Rudiger was out in the cold under Lampard, so he brought him into the side, and he's repaid his faith.
I think Thiago Silva's helped with that, because obviously the experienced head next to him, he just look a lot better under Thiago Silva. But when obviously Thiago Silva got injured, they were a bit poor, weren't they? So it's he's helped. Someone as experienced as Thiago Silva just helps young defenders around him.
What a ball that is! Oh, great block. James, I think
That should have been a goal.
Yeah, great cutback by Castagna, not for the first time this season. Cuts back to the man who won, James Vardy. It's a brilliant.
I thought that was it.
Yeah, great ball down the line by Tielemans. I think. Yeah, great ball. Yeah, Alonso, fucking hell, he's running quick.
He ain't got any pace.
Yeah, what a block that is. Yeah, Reece James. Oh, that's brilliant block. It was on target, so he had to get it in. Hey, Josh. Yeah, crowd. Yeah, those are the days, eh? good to see.
Yeah, just see it now. Perfect timing, right in the same place, right time, as it were. Wizards comment. I like that.
Is the Chelsea contribution from today? Yeah, really kind of shot over 30 yards.
As soon as he gets to 29 yards, it goes wide.
Exactly, yeah.
Vardy's such a pain to play against, isn't he? He just closes down so quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not been, he's still scored a decent amount. It's not been amazingly prolific by James Vardy, but he still brings so much with obviously his pace and behind and stretching the defence. That's a bad challenge by Evans.
I think we've just seen the ball over on the 16.5 minute. I think Vardy could have done better there. To be fair, he was onside for that. Just play just stopped all of a sudden, and Vardy's running in. It was like, hang on, you got to make a play for the ball, not let it roll in front of you. But yeah, Bill. Just thinking actually, now that we know that Leicester are in the claret, do you want to change the colours? So we're in the more relevant.
Yeah, but I might push it if I'm up like red or something. I might just leave it for now. Well, it'd be nice if the StreamYard allowed where it's half and half.
Yeah,
but they don't do that. Maybe in a year's time, or whatever.
Good tackle.
Great block. Yeah, great tackle by Fofana, I think it was.
How old is Vardy now?
He's like 34.
I was going to say 33, 34, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Still got it though. So
Definitely.
Look at that position. 70% for Chelsea. Yeah, they've dominated the ball.
I think with Vardy, if he hadn't retired from England a few years ago, he wouldn't be playing as much football. I don't think he would.
Yeah, and the same with Alan Shearer did the same with England. He retired after Euro 2000, I think it was.
That's right, yeah.
And he still played at the highest level for a number of years.
I mean, I don't know how genuine the story was, but apparently Allardyce wanted him for $1 million.
Right, Terry?
Oh, what is he doing?
Not a lot by the looks of it.
No, I know. I think he's on his laptop, so that's not going to work for him because it's rubbish.
I was going to say it's froze already.
Yeah. He's struggling.
Definitely going to turn on the break, aren't they?
Oh, is he not given that? Oh, he has given it.
Yes.
Yeah, eventually, yes.
Good chances.
Yeah.
I mean, Iheanacho didn't need to roll down as much as he did just then, to be fair. He didn't need to do that, but...
It's a definite handball.
It's a foul, but it's not the right way to call it.
No.
Chance for Leicester to put a good ball in.
I'm surprised Maddison's not playing, actually. Just thinking of, like, this set piece. Someone like Maddison would be crossing this in, but...
Yeah, I think he's had these injury problems. That's probably why he's not.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think he'll come on, definitely, but...
Yeah, both sides got plenty of options from the bench.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
here we go, Oliver with a dodgy decision again.
He could come through it.
Who's taking?
The ball's about to come in.
Tielemans, surely.
Looks like Tielemans is over it.
Yeah.
That's not handball, surely. That's nice.
Head over Soinche, I think it was.
Replay it. Looks a lot more like a handball than it did in the first instance.
Well, the ball's travelling and Silva's coming in. It's not. He hasn't moved his arm to get to it. It's just his natural movement. But
do you know what, guy? I don't know what handball is anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If it hits his hand, it's handball.
I don't have a clue anymore now. I really don't know.
I think I preferred it when it was an intentional sort of block with the hand
Yeah.
So I hate it as well when you see defenders now sort of defending with their hands behind their back. It makes it impossible, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they've got to do it because
otherwise
silly rule changes by IFAB, etc. Oh, what's the flip?
What a play that is, yeah.
Because the stupid thing is you can't get the jump. You can't get the height you need for when you're jumping with your arms behind your back. You just generally can't. You might as well just stand still.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I think
even some of the handballs we've seen when someone's just striding forwards to try and get into the box, like you can't even get the pace to sort of catch up if you're behind.
Exactly, and likewise with what's his name, the Leeds player who was offside for pointing where he wanted the ball. Bamford, at the start of the season, pointing for where he wanted the ball, and therefore he was offside. So come on, really?
Never should have pointed.
Like all these refs haven't even played football. They just don't understand football. I don't really need to integrate like ex-players into refereeing or something. Because like even us when we've played Sunday League or whatnot when we've been younger, you just know the game and you know if someone's like intentionally just flailed an arm. Like,
I mean, this is the debate, Jack. I mean, it'd be for me personally, I'm completely backing the idea of having an assistant VAR as an ex-football player.
Yeah,
it should be.
You can discuss it from both points.
Yeah.
Even like the Sufal red card the other week, when sort of I've seen a few like that as well. There was one that was overturned the other day. I can't remember who it was with VAR, but it was just as their leg came down naturally, and you've got to a point where natural movements of your leg, like you've got to land somewhere. You can't just float off after clearing the ball.
Well, that was Balbuena's problem, wasn't it?
Balbuena's was just bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is Ziyech, good ball in, just beyond Alonso. What a challenge by Tielemans in the box. Had to get that one right. And now away, Leicester just didn't bounce right for Iheanacho there. It's chucking it down in West London.
We've got the sun now, but it's been pouring for the last.
Yeah, it's sunny here in South Essex.
I bet the fans don't give a crap.
Don't sugarcoat it, Bill. Say Basildon. Come on. This is
That's a good play from Mount.
Oh, yes, I'm in South Essex. Bollocks, mate. You're Basildon.
Wide by Mount. Did that take deflection?
I think it did, yeah.
I'm just having a look at the replay. Great touch again.
It's Holly, if I remember correctly, Holly, you're Reading way, aren't you?
Oh,
Watford, yeah.
So, got a lot of Watford fan friends, unfortunately.
I was going to say, how's it been the last few weeks?
I get abused. My dad's a Liverpool fan, so I've got, I get abused from all sides, basically, all my friends. I even know some Luton supporters. I was working with a Millwall fan till recently, so nightmare. I don't know anyone else.
What about your fella? Is he a football supporter as well?
West Ham, luckily. So.
Oh, that's all right then, yeah.
I think it wouldn't have lasted very long otherwise. Some arguments you can't recover from.
Absolutely.
I think Wes is just as fearful as Kepa today. Like we all are. Biggest bet to Chelsea by Kepa is very good.
I still remember that game where Kepa refused to come off.
Mm.
Yeah, that was in the Carabao Cup.
It was, yeah.
It was very entertaining. That was.
It's great 5 minutes.
Yeah,
only entertaining thing about that bloody half.
So there wasn't that 0-0 as well.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it went to penalties, and then just refused to come off, and then he also should have saved one of the penalties.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The Rangers slowed this game down a bit, but I think it will suit Leicester because they've been pinned back a little bit. But it's like saying that Chelsea have created a huge amount with all the ball they've had.
As always, mate, when it comes to a cup final, it's the midfield attack, isn't it? All the fights in the midfield.
Yeah.
I say the wide areas are so open. If Leicester to go wide, obviously Alonso and James pushing on like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the space is there for both sides because Leicester have got Castagne and Thomas in the wing backs as well. So space for both sides if they can make the most of it.
That's a good play.
He's in there showing the form man.
Yeah.
Gives it away.
That's a good play from Ziyech.
That's got a back on it.
Love that from Ndidi.
Not for the first time in his Leicester career. Indeed, it makes a competitive challenge. But what a player he is, though. Indeed, absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant. Honestly, he would be like one of my dream signings as well.
That's a really good midfield battle, evenly matched. Indeed, and Tielemans against Jorginho and Kante. There's not a lot in that.
Getting a bit aggressive now, which is good.
Very much, yeah.
Flying through people.
Good to see. Bring it on.
I mean, always with a lot of games at the best of times, the first 10, 15 minutes are always like boxing matches anyway, testing each other's weaknesses and whatnot. But yeah, you're right. This just literally the switch has gone on the last couple of minutes. Ever since Mount's attempt for that corner, game is definitely upped in tempo.
Definitely.
Yeah. Both teams are playing decently. But it's just a huge amount of dances, but it's still playing their time.
Leicester are holding a bit more possession as well now.
Yeah, starting to keep them. The pitch is slowing down a little bit because of the rain, which isn't helping. But hopefully, both teams will adapt to that.
Ferguson's go-to excuse, wasn't it? It's too much rain.
No. There's the rosette.
There he is.
That's a chance for Werner, though. He had plenty of space to run into. But Kante did really well to force that, to create that chance for him.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's
quite a bit of space.
Yeah,
at least he's shooting there though. Recently, he's just not been shooting, and it's good to see him actually trying to get confidence.
Yeah,
I mean, it was dreadful, but at least he's actually shooting from there. That's a good touch.
How wide?
Exactly.
There's a lot of space, isn't there?
There is. It's opening up a bit. Is Ziyech on the left? Back post. Yes, Siontsu does well to head it away.
There's another cross you want Giroud to be on the end of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Werner just got a conversion, pretty much. I think Havertz had a similar one against Arsenal one.
That was dreadful. That was awful. I mean, we'll take it, but
being an Arsenal fan, Jack, I think you're happy with that, mate.
Yeah, I was already because he's been on good form as well. He scored a lot of goals, so I was adamant it was 1-0, but it wasn't. So, I mean, that game definitely went in our favour with the mistake that led to our goal as well.
Oh god, it was definitely taxi for Jorginho, wasn't it?
Oh, it was dreadful. Surprised he's playing today after that.
Yeah, he's been in decent form recently.
Yeah, he is. He's not been too bad.
Corner for Ziyech. Good ball in. Oh, well edited away by Evans there. Still got it though, Chelsea. Oh, he's Mount. Good ball in.
Every time I see. Every time I see Sonincho, I keep thinking it's Gareth Bale. Every time I see that bugger.
Great chance for Chelsea. Mount does well. Yeah, good cross, back post.
It's that little dink back in from Thiago Silva. Beautiful.
It's Werner and Aspilicueta at the back post. Yeah.
Werner gets a little bit on it. Which
he takes it
away from him.
Why is he done that?
I think he's just trying to score and he miscued it.
Well, if he doesn't hear a shout, he doesn't know if he's behind him, does he? So.
No, but that's what I mean. He's trying to get it on goal. But he just enough connection, obviously, because he did get a touch and he took it away from Aspilicueta. But yeah, great play by Silva though. Great dink.
Warning for Leicester.
We're in Africa. That's brilliant. Watching from Kenya. Thanks, man. Leicester's going to win this game 2-1. Yeah, I think we'd all settle for that. Dave's there. Yeah, that's a brilliant chant by the Chelsea fans. As we'll just call him Dave. Absolutely. What a mess. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, they have big chance for Werner. 2 in the space of a couple of minutes.
Well, he's got to miss one Serie game, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got it out of the way at least now.
Yeah.
I'm happy we didn't sign him. Our strikers can't even score enough. It was not Salah then. We start on Bobby Firmino.
I had thought that Werner would really hit the ground running, especially with his pace. I thought he'd be brilliant.
Yeah, that's. I don't think he's been as bad as what people said, but obviously he's not been as good as what he can.
Come on, man. We gave them a goal when we played them the other week. It was the easiest tap-in anyone could score. It was the only goal of the game as well.
Oh, that's poor.
That's a bad ball by indeed.
Oh, is Evans limping? No.
Yeah.
It looks like he is, yeah.
I think it's one of them where he ran it off.
What was his injury?
I don't know. I think he's been missing the last couple of games.
Yeah.
Did he get a red? Was that not what it was?
Oh, was it not an injury?
Was it not? I can't remember. But I knew he got a red card quite recently.
Oh.
Yeah, he's down.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see when he kicked the ball there that he's pulled a groin muscle or something, maybe.
That's really big. See who Leicester have gone on the bench.
That'd be a big miss in the
What he's going to do is he going to bring? Yeah, is he going to change to a 4 at the back now? That's what he's got to do.
He's got Wes Morgan, but I think my dad's quicker than him anyway at the back.
Maybe six of Marty, or you got Ricardo, you got Pereira as well.
Pereira is probably a better shout, actually, looking at it. Yeah.
You've got a few options.
I think it's Michael Brighton, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's the one warming up, so whether it's him or not, or he's just having a warm up anyway. It looks like Albright's one stretching out, so it looks like he's coming on, but
definitely looks like it.
Not a bad a very underrated player, Michael Brighton, I've got to say.
Got a good cross on him.
And again, that's a really nice thing. You can just see there with Mount just standing around him, seeing he's making sure he's all right. He doesn't, doesn't have to do that, but he was there saying, you okay? And we don't see that very often nowadays, unfortunately.
Definitely.
That's a shame about Evans. Yeah, he's defended well. A couple of good headers. So
he's one of the reasons why they've secured themselves in the top 4 this season. Absolutely brilliant player.
Been fantastic.
I still can't believe Man United actually sold him.
I was going to say their best defender, wasn't he?
Not for the. I mean, out of players that Van Gaal sold, that should still be, or maybe not now, but it could have been in their squad for the next couple of years when he probably needed like Welbeck, Hernandez, Evans. There's quite a few that he sold. You think, what was the point in that? But there we are. Evans is off and Albrighton's on, so probably should be a change.
Do you reckon they'll change formation or move one of the fielders into?
Unless Thomas goes.
They'll put Albrighton in the back 3, I don't think. Unless they put Thomas in the second or something.
They've got to change surely to a 4. Can't have Thomas as centre back. He's not.
Go for the Beckenbauer or Matthias sweeper.
It looks like. Looks like is that Castañas slotted in?
I think. Well, it's gone down outside Mount.
Too much on that.
Well, we'll go away with that. That's very unlike Mount. Usually his final ball's excellent, but not so much on that one. Yeah, it looks like Castaña's gone right centre back, and then Brian is a right wing back, so not a bad shout. And then I think they've moved Fofana to this middle of the back 3.
Yeah.
Bad 30 seconds for Mount.
Yeah, he's due to have. There's some form he's been in. I think he's been due to have a couple of poor touches.
He is brilliant.
Been absolutely immense.
It was a great pass before that, though, wasn't it? It was a beautiful pass over to him. But
I don't know about you guys, but I think for me, Mount's got to be in England's starting 11 for the Euro.
100%.
Him and Foden, I think, both should be in. You can't put like Sterling in, can you? Because he's just not on the form this season.
But he plays better for England than he does for
City. He does. I mean, what's good, and it's not been for England for the last while, is we've actually got selection headaches. We don't usually. We can pick the team whenever we wanted to. We can't. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, God, who's going to get... Yeah, Costanza's from yellow there. Bow after that as well, if that weren't given. Yeah, meaty challenges there.
Southgate manager, though, isn't it? It's all these great players, and then it's Southgate picking them.
Yeah, he'll just stick with his old normal
go
team.
5 at the back or something. It's like, why?
But he's better than the managers we've had in recent years. To be fair, he's more. He's more ability than notoriety, isn't he? So you give him that. But I agree, Jack. You're right on that point of thing. But
I agree. But you could say the same about Sven. Look at the squads he had, and we got to 3-4. Well,
The early days, though, mate, he was picking players just because who they were.
I mean, that's the thing. We've just been saying we don't know who's going to be in the starting 11, but some during Sven's squads where you knew who the first 11 was every time.
That's what I mean. He was picking them. He was picking Rooney even when he was having one of the worst seasons he's ever had at Man United. He was still picking him as to lead the line.
He's playing Scholes on the wing, like what?
I still get shivers at night when I'm thinking about that. Honestly, terrible decision.
Yeah, there is so much talent coming through the ranks now for England.
I think it will help Southgate actually because they've UEFA have extended the squad size from 23 to 26.
Yeah.
It's those potential headaches of who he might have to leave out.
It's an extra three less headaches.
Be able to get away with that now.
He'll still be picking an extra 2 on top of that, mate. You know as well as I do, because there's always somebody will pull out and he has to bring another 2 in just to make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But possession for Leicester is Castagna on the right.
Bit of a ball cross.
Better than that, who's out the pitch? We've got a bit scrappy. We're starting to build up.
Trying to get it desperately to James Vardy.
It's not just that, Ollie. This is turning into an actual proper cup final now.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
End-to-end football. Nobody really giving a shit. This is why Love has been booking everyone the last couple of minutes. But fair play. He hasn't done made any decisions he shouldn't have done. Oliver. He's made it. He's kept the game flowing. He's booked people at the right times. Yeah, I'll give him his dues for that.
Yeah, no, he's refed it well so far.
There's still 45 plus minutes to go. So
I was literally about to say commentator's curse will send someone off. Yeah. Now you watch.
I've still got 20 minutes. My stream's that far behind. Wait, what?
There's still time for a grand pole howler, 3 yellows to 1 player. There's still time for that. Yeah.
Oh, that was.
Oh, it's about to.
How far are you behind John and Jack, mate?
37 and 9.
No.
85. I'm on BBC iPlayer.
Christ, Jack, you're watching it.
Further behind.
Season,
I'm going to have to rob the TV in a sec. If you disappear, then you know where I've gone. We've robbed the
You've gone a PC world, mate.
It's the hamsters in the background on the wheel.
He's nicked something.
Yeah. Jack's going to be on the roof at half time.
Whereas you see James Gallagher in the outside mouse.
I take it you're watching iPlayer on your computer, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm using it on my smart telly. That's why it's for some random reason it's quicker on a smart telly than it is on a computer for some bizarre reason. But
what well headed by James. Vardy was in there.
Oh, now.
Yeah. Cuts inside. Oh, good ball.
Hardy, you look like a fish feeding, man. You know.
Oh, Werner's gone down. Everyone's going down.
2 brilliant blocks. You'll see it in a minute. We'll see it in 2 minutes, Jack.
Yeah.
From
I'll see it in a few seconds. Yeah.
That'd be outstanding.
Yeah, I'm going to rob the telly downstairs.
Yeah, brilliant.
See this challenge from. Yeah, Werner just slipped and just found Thomas in the meantime.
Great block this was.
Yeah, just see the replay. Yeah, that was on target, so he had to get the block in. Yeah.
It suits both teams though. Like obviously the rain, like both teams like to get the ball on the ground and just zip it.
It's slowing the possession, it's slowing the passing patterns, and it's been stuck in the grass in it. So not helping matters at the moment.
Oh, he got a yellow for that as well.
It
was late, wasn't it? So.
He it's clear foul, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It is a foul at the end of the day.
It wouldn't be if it was a West Ham game, mate.
Play on. That would be a red card.
It'd be a free kick to Chelsea. That would.
Didn't touch him.
It'd be a 10-match ban if I was West Ham. 10-match ban from the FA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, 5 minutes to go.
It does make me laugh that I know it's in the rules and everything, but it does make me laugh when the referees wait for them to stand up to book them. It's like they're talking for about 5 minutes. Get like, now you book.
I tell you what, the more ruthless ones is a red card when a player's getting stretchered off.
Yeah.
That was at the Villarreal game.
That is ruthless if I've ever seen it.
That was the Villarreal game. He got sent off and he was on the stretcher he was on the floor for about 4 minutes. And then he got on the stretcher and the ref just showed it to him as he was going off.
Pink shit.
I'm going off anyway, leave me alone.
He's going off injured just to make things better. You got a red lad.
Yeah, for these shit hours, it's fans.
It's and I'm all for it.
I don't want to hedge the bets or anything yet, mate. But I'm glad I set up the watch along stuff this morning because I've got a horrible feeling this is going to go down to the wire. I really do.
Looks that way, yeah. Well, I think both teams have created some decent chances, but it's been the blocks that have saved. We had the one from Vardy from Leicester, and then a couple from Mount and a couple of great headers away from Evans before he went off, and Fafana's having a blinder of a game so far for Leicester. So
he's going to have to step up now, isn't he? So
neither team have had a shot on target yet.
No, but if it weren't for those blocks, we would have had about 3 or 4. So
exactly. Yeah, I mean that's the thing that I always hate about that is if a shot's on target, if it's blocked or not, it's a shot on target. Do you know what I mean? But it's just the same way. If your goalkeeper saves it, it's still a block at the end of the day, isn't it?
But delivery.
Yeah.
Good header, Soinchu.
I mean, that's what everybody was up in arms about the Everton game at the weekend. Yeah, we had one shot on target, and that was clocked off. So,
talk about user experience. Silva just brushes his shoulder into Soinchu, force him to head it one. That is experience and art. No foul. Fucking love it. Absolutely love it. He's been a great signing, Silva. Got off to a shaky start against West Brom in his debut, but he's been absolutely outstanding in his play.
And then he had a shaky game against West Brom recently as well.
Luckily West Brom got relegated.
God, Sam Allardyce is not in the Prem. Go away, Big Sam.
Well, he walks now, doesn't he?
Because
his contract's terminated at the end of the season now. Apparently, because they've been relegated, it's in his contract.
Interesting to see if he plays.
I think he will. I know we were joking about it in the summer, Bill, but I genuinely think he will stay.
Yeah, I think he said if he gets the funds to have a go at promotion, then he'll stay. And obviously, we had him at West Ham, and he did a great job to get us promoted. So.
And the funny thing is, we were playing Wigan on this date, weren't we?
Oh,
10 years ago. We were 10 years ago today. We were relegated on that Wigan game.
Yeah, it was 10 years, 2011, wasn't it?
11, so 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, Werner's getting closer. That one won't block off the final this time.
Wait, I thought he might have got
my idea, but just dragged it a little bit.
Yeah, it's a corner. Yeah, so he did block it. He blocked it.
Yeah.
He's there.
Went straight through his legs, but no, it's a corner. So yeah, he's getting there. 5 corners for Leicester, none for 5 for Chelsea, none for Leicester so far. It's about to come in from Mount. I
feel like it's an open game.
Who's James?
Oh,
he comes
with.
Well, that's the thing, Ollie. It's not like we've been sitting here saying there's nothing to talk about. We've had plenty to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a poor delivery by James. That's very unlike him.
Look at the height difference. That's mad. It is funny.
How tall is Brendan Rodgers? Is he actually short or is...
5'4", 5'3".
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know. I think Tuchel's just massive as well. It doesn't look good for him.
I love that with James just walking to take up the corner. He turns to Smite and said, "You're going to give me the ball."
Yeah. But Brendan Rodgers, he's got great character though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We do.
Good manager.
I think that's a bit of perspective on that, really. But where is it?
Oh, good ball by Taylor.
He should be doing better there.
Oh, what a ball that was!
Well, Brendan Rodgers apparently is 1.7 meters tall, according to Wikipedia. So he's actually taller than he looks. Only just like, but
Everyone lies about that, I don't do. Must have had some boosters in those shoes that day when he was getting measured.
And according to Wikipedia, two shoes only 20 centimeters taller than him. So,
There's no way.
6'3", 6'4".
I've had the cameraman as a midget as well. Get him a box.
It's a chance though for Vardy, that was.
Massive,
chance.
yeah.
Bit like Werner earlier enough, didn't quite get enough on it.
I think it's going to come down to fine margins. So every chance like that that's missed might come back to bite either team.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been, in terms of shots on goal, there's been a huge amount, but there's been a couple of misses and great blocks and stuff. So
Yeah.
hopefully opens up a little bit more in the second 45.
I'm surprised that Vardy's not angry with himself with that.
Mm.
Because normally when he misses that sort of chance, he screams like mad, but nothing. Just said thanks for the ball.
Oh, look at
Very calm
he's just,
today.
Thank God.
he's just a little pest, isn't it?
No,
Give him enough Red Bull at half time.
Yeah. Good tackle, that.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go. Should be the last action of the first half.
I reckon if we see a goal, things are going to get a bit more exciting because the other team will have to put everything on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll have to, yeah.
Come on.
I think the one thing that's great about this is it actually can't end as a draw. Yeah, let's go.
There you go. Corner comes in.
Oh,
Headed cleared away. That should be it.
that's half time, is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
There it is.
Half time. So nice to have fans back in the stadium.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
Amazing.
be back at a game.
Well, fans or no fans, that middle bit at Wembley is always empty. So,
Yeah, that is true.
especially at the start of the second half, it is. Anyway. So, goalless at half time. I think Russ. Yeah, I agree with what Russ says. Decent first half, but no goals. But there's been plenty of encouraging play by both sides, but defensive have both been on top. Plenty of great blocks and headers away and stuff. So, John, thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been saying it throughout most of the game. We were just saying it a couple of seconds ago. There's been plenty of chances from both ends. End-to-end football, tasty challenges from about the half an hour mark onwards. Hasn't disappointed. The only thing is missing a goal. That's all it is.
Yeah, thoughts, Holly?
Obviously, we're looking at Chelsea have got 56% possession there. It felt like at the beginning Chelsea had a lot more possession and Leicester playing on the break, but it evened out a load towards the end of the first half.
Yeah.
5 attempts for Leicester, 7 for Chelsea, so pretty even, to be honest. I think it's going to be come down to fine margins, but exciting. There's been loads to look at and talk about, despite there not actually being too many shots on target or 0 shots on target. In fact,
None. Yeah.
a lot of last-ditch blocks that I think have skewed that stat.
The BBC website just updated to say that Chelsea had 8 shots now, not 7. It's literally just increased as you were saying it.
Yeah,
Someone's been reviewing. Hang on, no, we've missed one. We've missed one.
Liverpool, Jack, your thoughts, mate?
As the panel's already said, it'd be intriguing. The final third has been just a final pass. I think that's what the managers will be drilling into in the second half. Bit more patience when you get in and around the box. And I think, obviously, as we mentioned, Mount's got the quality. Vardy will be interesting to see how both sides, if you get to about 60 minutes, will they make a bit more changes. But yeah, I'm hoping we do get a goal. And hopefully it's Leicester and just allows Chelsea really to come out a bit more. And then obviously the classic Leicester hitting teams on the counter attack. But yeah, it's set up very well this second half, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Arsenal, Jack?
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed it. It's a good one of the better 0-0s at half-time you've seen. There's been good amounts of shots. I think as well, the game, it kind of needs just, like everyone said, an extra bit of quality. And for Leicester, I can see that being Maddison. I think it won't be long until he comes on.
Yeah.
As well as that, I think Mount, has been Chelsea's bright player. But we're talking about, I think Werner could have scored 1 or 2, and so could Vardy. So we're talking about not too much quality in the final third, but they definitely should have had at least 1 goal for both of them. So I'm hoping in the second half there's going to have a few goals.
And also, for that matter, just want to emphasise something. Chelsea are in a bit more of a tactical advantage over Leicester because obviously with Evans going off and Brighton coming on, Rodgers has got a bit more tinkering to do than what Tuchel can do, and it could be the deciding factor in the second half. It really could be.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I wouldn't disagree with anything you said. I think, I think that if you look at the stat, no shots on goal, and you've not watched the game, I think it's been pretty boring. But it hasn't. A couple of great blocks from both sides. Vardy when he was played through, and Reece James with a great block, and Fofana a couple of times with Werner, and Werner had a header after a great sort of chip at the back post by Thiago Silva. So it's been opportunities, but I think both teams have defended well as well. You've got to credit them, but as you guys said, there's plenty of options for both sides in the second half. So I expect more sort of shots on. Well, certainly more shots on goal than none. So I'm expecting. I think sometimes in finals, both teams try and figure each other out, which I think they did in the first at least the first 10 minutes, first 15 minutes. But start to grow into it, and I think there's certainly more to come. I'd say.
Yeah. Just looking at the fans. When you see all four of them talking again, there's fans over in the top left-hand corner, up at the upper tier, and yet there's Chelsea flags on the other side. So it'll be interesting to see what the other side of it is. If there's going to be Leicester flags on one side and Chelsea fans up the top, but it does seem to be a lot more Leicester fans in there than Chelsea for some weird reason.
Yeah.
It just makes me miss the playoff final. It really does. Every time I watch a game at Wembley, I just miss being there. I really do.
Yeah. It's the corporate tickets in every final, isn't it, that you watch. The prawn cocktail brigades just get so many tickets, and that's a big
Wizard. He's talking about
was...
you, mate. Come on, Wizard.
Yeah, no, that's one problem that is wrong with football, and I think fans will have a go at as well. Obviously, the distribution of tickets is ridiculous. Yeah. It's all the people in the higher positions getting tickets.
Especially as a Liverpool fan, you'll know in European finals in particular, it's outrageous.
Yeah, even Europa League finals, mate. So, you're getting about 5,000 tickets for a capacity of 80,000. Like, what is that all about?
Ross is getting his wooden spoon out. Chelsea have no real fans. That's why.
I thought that was Man City. No wonder they're winning their title.
See, I mean, that's the thing, as I say, because we're looking at about 22,000 supporters, depending on which part of the BBC you're looking at, and it's like 6,250 per side. And the rest are Brent residents, key workers, stadium guests, and FA stakeholders. It's the FA Cup final. I know we've got the whole social distancing thing and everything, but at the same point, man, there should be like 70% of that allocation should be supporters, not 55% what it is.
FA stakeholders, why do they need it's the fans that matter the most? It's just another. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Ashley Cole's one of the pundits. I think he's won more FA Cups than a lot of teams put together, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Man of the FA Cups he's won with Arsenal and Chelsea. He's won. How much he won? About 7 or 8, is it? Something ridiculous.
You're not that far off it, mate. Yeah, you're not far off.
I'm gonna have to research it now. Now it's half time.
I mean, Lineker was winding Shearer up. Said right at the start of this, he turned around and said, Shearer and Leicester have got the same thing in common: 4 finals and no.
Lineker always. Every time there's an FA Cup game, Lineker always ribs Shearer. But Shearer, how many leagues have you won, Gary? How many league titles have you won? So
exactly, yeah.
Harry Kane debate as well when he retires. Winning trophies.
And so Ashley Cole won 3 FA Cups with Arsenal.
Yeah.
4 with Chelsea, wasn't it?
4 with Chelsea. Won 7.
Yeah,
that's remarkable. That's a lot than a lot of teams put together. Yeah,
quite impressive.
Mention it all.
Cooks you ain't, Russ.
Yeah, so I think I've just seen on BBC, Dion Dublin's covering it for 5 Live. It's been a decent first half. there've been a few half chances, but defenses have been on top. Honours even is about right, and yeah, wouldn't disagree with that.
As I was saying, is that the only thing is he's gone and nicked his telly now. Look, watch.
Just can't get the telly.
But it's the only disappointing thing is the amount of people that aren't there. It'd be perfect otherwise. It really would.
Yeah. But at least there's more than what was there for the Carabao Cup? 8,000, I think it was.
Yeah, it was 7 or 8. Yeah.
So, at least there's, I mean, at least there's fans there today, because in the final last season, obviously there was none, wasn't there?
True.
Yeah, there wasn't any. No.
None at all. So
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to see it, but it's kind of like when we're watching it week in, week out with nobody there, you're used to it. And now we're seeing, like with the League Cup final now today, we're seeing people there, and it's just like it really hammers it home how different things are in a good way as well, for that matter. But I still maintain, like everybody that would have seen that when the allocation of everything went up this morning. It's just that it should have been more. It should be more supporters in there. It really should be more supporters. But football's never going to change, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, the time chatting there, they go for Alan Shearer's England 11 for the.
I know, he put Pickford in goal.
Henderson and Rice.
I think it's weird. Since Pickford's grown his hair, he's actually defended. He's
not a bad goalkeeper, but I wouldn't say he was as good as like Pope or Dean Henderson.
No, he's not. But I think Southgate likes playing him because his distribution is better than and I think he's one of those players similar to, say, Danny Welbeck for England or David Healy for Northern Ireland, where he's a better international player than he is for his club. Which, as non-Everton fans here, we don't care who gets on for Everton. If he plays well for England, happy.
Yeah. But Pickford's also out of the three, he's the more animated goalkeeper. He shouts a lot more. He gives instructions a lot more than the other two. So that's the other reason for it. Yeah. Which a lot of people don't seem to notice. I noticed that a lot when we played Everton. He was mouthing off all the time, shouting at people getting in certain places. You don't see it all that often. That's
a good advantage, because I watch it without the sound.
I do prefer. I prefer it with. So obviously, you have the choices of crowd or no crowd. I love watching it no crowd just to hear what they say as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I tried it with their artificial sound, but when they're going ooh when it goes out for a throw-in, that lost me.
When they celebrate like a terrible cross. Someone's
it goes in.
I'm not having this. I'll change it to Sky Sports Premier League.
It goes into goal, and then a minute later the crowd goes. It's quite funny.
But to be fair, I watched the Wolves Brighton game. And it was quite funny because I watched it with because it was on BBC, wasn't it? So I watched it's the first game I've watched with the crowd since this time last year. The crowd sound, and even when some of the challenges were going on, even the FIFA crowds were booing. It was it was quite funny. You don't normally get to hear that. Even one of the commentators went, "Hang on a minute, we just heard some FIFA boos going on."
I carried on watching it with the fan noise most of the time, and now it sounds really quiet. But I do also switch because it is so interesting to actually hear what's said on the pitch. Because you never hear that over the fans.
Yeah.
There's certain players though, like Connor Cody, where it doesn't matter if they've got crowds on, you can still and even Jamie Carragher back in the day, you could hear him from miles away.
Yeah, and talking of which, guys, I'm glad we've got our screens on mute at the moment. That bloody England song that's just been up on the telly. Christ, that was awful.
Well, Jack's moved to his living room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be here half an hour behind now. Yeah, my mum was watching Cardi. She was like, "Oh, you're off the move." Sorry, Mum.
Jack, you need to turn your microphone up just a little bit if you can, man, because you're a lot lower than your previous mic. That's better, a little bit better, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, 15 years ago was that famous final that me and Liverpool Jack will remember. Probably one of the best finals ever, the 3-3 at the
Cardiff.
Yeah.
That was. only one player on the planet that could have scored that goal.
Yeah, I
fell out to him.
was there that day.
Yeah.
I was there that day. I was right. I was right. And like as soon as Gerrard shot, that was going in. I thought, there's no way Shaq Hislop's saving that. As soon as he hits, that's a goal. Honestly, he hits so brilliantly. But it should never got to that situation because fucking our right back on loan at the time, Lionel Scaloni, just booed it right in the head. He should have booed it out of the fucking stadium.
Yeah.
he should go straight back.
It wasn't just that; it was the clearance after that as well that went straight at him. Then it rolled straight to Gerrard.
Yeah.
And he just absolutely thundercunted it.
Yeah. But even apart from the equaliser, we see Gerrard scored the one in the box as well. That was a good finish. And even didn't he set up Djibril Cissé's goal as well?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Bill, do you remember when we were at the West Ham Way event with Konchesky? Do you remember that?
oh yeah.
Before anyone asked him any questions, he said, "Before anyone asked me, yes, I meant that Liverpool goal."
Early.
Straight away, before anyone asked me.
That's cool.
What's everyone saying about their score predictions? Are we sticking to what we said before the game? Has anyone got a change of heart?
No, I'm going
Let's go down to 2-1.
Yeah, I think young Jack's got to change his one a little bit.
That's ambitious scoreline.
Yeah, I'll go down to 2-1, no longer 3-1.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with 2-1. Chelsea, I think. Yeah.
I'm still saying 2-1, but I have a feeling it is still going to go Chelsea. But I'm just going to stick to my guns. Hope it is for Leicester.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, still 2-1. I mean, it'd probably be 2-1 Chelsea the way things are going, but yeah, I'm still sticking with Leicester.
So for that final 2006, I sat next to John Moncur.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was his son, John Moncur, the steps, and then my dad and myself. We were right in the Millennium Stadium in the upper tier in the back row, and even despite that, it was still an incredible view. Yeah. Obviously gutting to lose, but what it was a pleasure to be there. To be honest,
I can imagine.
The players talk about 2006. Let's move back to 2021.
15 years, man. It's mental, isn't it? 15 years.
Crazy, mate. Yeah.
Blink of an eye ago, really, but
Feels like yesterday's all, doesn't it?
it does, yeah.
Here we go. Players are both. I don't think there's been any half-time changes. Doesn't look like
Doesn't
it.
look like it.
That's the only one.
So here we go.
All right.
Everybody's off.
And you know what, guys? I'm glad we're talking about this because I don't want to be hearing bloody Jermaine Genius's conversations.
Oh, God.
I was going to mention that.
I'm muting it off. I'm muting my.
I don't know who's worse, to be honest with you. Him or what was his name? The ex-Liverpool player that retired a few seasons ago.
No.
Eh?
I was going to say McAtee is shocking on it.
No. It was used to be on Match the Day with Kevin Keegan. Kevin Keegan. You never win it with kids, bloke. It was him and
Alan Hansen.
Hansen, yeah, because they both of them just complain the entire time. We shouldn't have done that.
That's why they got rid of it.
When Mark Lawrenson was commentating, it sounded like he didn't want to be in the stadium. He was so uninterested in what was going on. So, cheers, Mark. Well, thanks for your wonderful insight.
Great input.
Here we go. Russ, why is Ashley gone on so much? I can't stand him for fairly obvious reasons. He's won it 7 times. That's probably why. He
deserves to be on it, to be fair.
Yeah, you
One
can't.
day of the year that comes around, he's like, yeah, there we go. So,
No, I think he's decent. He's been on Sky a fair bit, actually. I think he's getting better every time he goes on there.
He's still irritating to listen to because he's very monotonic, but yeah, you're right. His way of his approach is definitely better than Jamie Redknapp's. God, Bennett, don't get me started on him. Really can't stand him.
John, just speak your mind next time. We're all friends here.
Do you want me to do a Bill? Bill, do you want me to do a do you want me to do the what's his name? That rant that Thingy Bob did the other week. Dennis, do you want me to do a Dennis rant about him for 10 minutes?
Oh no, I'll just watch it back because I don't think it's anymore. But speaking of Jermaine Genius, that reminds me of Ziyech. I'll come back to that. Is Werner because Stanley does while they hold him up. Is Mount?
That's poor ball.
It's poor ball. Yeah, very poor. It reminds me. This genius in the FA Cup. Do you remember the semi-final a few years ago when Chelsea beat Spurs 4-2? And Genius was in the studio with Alan Shearer, and he was going, "Oh, Tottenham were the better side, had more possession."
Oh yeah.
Chelsea scored 4 goals, Jermaine. So that quite adds up, to be honest with you. So I think he had his Tottenham shirt underneath his suit that day. Honestly, absolutely. But yeah, Wiz perfectly sums up. Genius cried. He did actually. Yeah. I swear I saw a little bit of tears when he was saying all that crap. Yeah.
Tottenham, this notion over the last couple of years, thinking Tottenham are a big club, okay. It's when they get it spoken about, everyone's thinking that they're a big club, they're not really.
I mean, how they thought they could get in the Super League off just for his
the cheek.
So even some of the pundits of Gary Neville was saying he said that a number of times, why were they in it? And even like celeb fans like Noel Gallagher was even sticking his oar in, saying why are they in it as well? So yeah.
Well, I think Leicester deserve to be in it more than Tottenham.
Absolutely.
They've actually won the Premier League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Genius was
notable achievement.
I could drink Jermaine Genius tears; they would taste like sour. Comment of the day, that is. Well played.
It's O'Hara as well. He's listened to him on TalkSport.
Jeez, mate, honestly. Oh dear, yeah.
I know he's on there to like drive debate, so it gets rewound up, but it works.
But there's trying to be controversial, and then there's just being, well, you just sound like a moron, mate. Do you know what I mean? But what are you talking about?
Speaking of Spurs a few moments ago, what's everyone thinking about where Kane might end up? There have been some very obvious comments from him about wanting to win titles or trophies. So there's
that's the thing. If it was normal transfers and normal amount of money, it'd be a certainty to go. But obviously, club's finances have been hit, so it's not a guarantee we'll go.
No,
I mean, there's well some people saying that he's likely to go to Man U, but he's come out and said he wants to win Thing up. But that Man United aren't guaranteed to win anything. He deserves to go to a club that are guaranteed trophies.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day. Because if believing is like, there's no doubt he's a good player. As much as I dislike Spurs, and I think if your goal is to go and win trophies, leagues, whatever it is, United are probably no more certain than Spurs, maybe slightly. So you expect yourself to be going to one of the clubs that does regularly win. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
I mean, it's Man City or abroad, isn't it? Like,
yeah, but having said that, though, Vardy and Kane up front for Leicester, that's a title winning. That's a cup winning team.
Definitely,
that is a cup winning team.
Imagine the passes Kane would play to Vardy. That would just be a mad.
I'm saying.
Yeah. With that.
Should play that at England, but obviously he retired. So
yeah.
Leicester still got that Harry Kane money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry Maguire, sorry. 80 million.
Only man can make one show more planned.
Maddison looks like it's going to be coming on.
Being controversial is one thing, being bitter is if the Smurfs are a small club. Oh dear.
Yeah, Maddison. It is a Maddison game. He's got to come on soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Creativity in there.
Just it hasn't got going. It's only 6 minutes in, but the second half hasn't got going at all. To be honest, might love that now. Is Kante Mount's free if you can find him? Oh, too late.
See, that's what I don't like. Just seeing Tielemans' challenge on is it Jorginho there? Yeah. And he's rolling around. He gets up and it's like, oh, no one's looking. I'm fine. It's like, really? Book him for a simulation if that's the case.
Here he comes.
It's the modern day football that made in it.
Just go. He's saying his training shirt. Just put his bib on. A quick warm up.
I rate Maddison very highly.
He's a very, very good player. Very good player.
Yeah, it's a shame he's picked up injuries at the wrong time.
He's been in the Euro squad. Yeah.
But I think he's one of those players where the extra squad size will help him, and I think he'll go now. Whereas if it's just the 23, you think he might be one of those to miss out simply because of the injuries, nothing more.
Yeah.
Well played by Kante again. He's mounted. Look how deep he is. He's on the halfway line, drives forward.
Oh,
That's what. This is good to see, though. You want your players to be brave and take the ball, especially
Yeah.
from an England point of view. That's obviously great. Being one of those players.
run at them.
Exactly. Yeah, make something happen. Here's James. Bit of space.
Yeah. Always got through behind.
Good ball.
Good ball, that
Here's
is.
Kante. Good cross.
Oh,
Back post. Alonso.
Power.
A shot on target.
Hey!
One.
Well, that was a good
53
move.
minutes in, and it's a shot on target.
Well, good move though. Good ball by Jorginho, and Kante did brilliantly to get back post. But Alonso, did all right, but unfortunately,
Straight in Mikey's hands.
yeah.
That is not a nice kit, is it? The patterns are disgusting.
I'm saying it's a 90s magic eye, that Chelsea kit. It's ridiculous.
That's on the back that gets me. It's like completely different. You know?
It's a gold strip as well. It's just like, is it yellow? It's just not a nice.
It's blatantly
design.
aimed at kids, that shirt, and it really is. I mean, nobody over the age of 20 is going to wear that to a football game at all.
No,
Some fell in the pub in full kit.
Yeah, there is that, mate. Yeah, I suppose, but
Get Billy Gilmore on. Yeah, there's a bit of space opening in midfield, so but they've got plenty of options. Chelsea and for Leicester as well. So it could be the bench ones that for either side, really.
Yeah.
yeah.
do you reckon when that shot on target has literally just come up now on the telly, the graphics went, oh, shot on target, right? Let's update it. Get it
Yeah, let's play the top words up. On that one.
Yeah.
Clean off the keyboard.
Oh, was he offside again?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
This game's just screaming Giroud out to me.
It does, yeah. Honestly, they're getting down the line and crossing it in. They just need to bring him on.
Yeah,
Kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the first half about the balls going up to the top and stuff, about why Abraham should be there. So yeah, you're right there, Jack. Man, it's perfect for him.
Yeah.
Another great ball by Tielemans, and not for the first time today. Reece James does well to deny Vardy. I'm sure, is that Leicester's first corner?
It will be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
always one supporter out there with a blow-up cup final. There's always one blow-up cup. There's always one. It's either that or one made out of kitchen foil. There's always one.
It's either that or something else, but we can't say.
Here he is, Chelsea contingent. Wiz is in. Well, mate.
Thought we were going to see the second corner. Just a throw.
Coming in at the right time. Leicester with the only corner of the game.
It's gone now. I'm always nervous when Kepa is in goal, or even within about 10 miles of where we're playing. He's that bad.
Anywhere near Wembley today.
Hasn't been tested today, has he?
No, not yet. Anyway,
yeah. We could put a traffic cone and bounce a pair of Sondico gloves on top, and I think it would have a better save percentage.
Sports Direct special. Sondico gloves.
Ooh, pressure on from Leicester.
It's good press.
Composure by Silva to clear that one. Would you change anything, Wiz, at the moment? Would you make any subs for now? As a Chelsea fan?
Not at the moment. I don't think so. No, I think we're doing okay. We've got a certain amount of control, but yeah, I don't know. Pulisic must be on the bench, so I haven't looked, but
yeah,
I don't know. His invention sort of in the half spaces. I think we've lacked a bit of. I think we've been in a lot of good positions. Obviously, Werner needs about 19 chances a game to score. But yeah.
How many of his teams he had? 8 so far, I think.
Yeah, he needs to have another 10 to get a goal. I think.
Well, that's the thing. There's both options on the bench for both sides: Chelsea, Pulisic, Giroud, Hudson-Odoi, Chilwell, Gilmore, Havertz, and obviously backup keepers, etc. And then Leicester, Maddison, Chowdhury, Pereira, Pratt. So Dennis Pratt, yeah. So
It's Pratt, isn't it? Pratt.
I don't know.
You're Pratt. Get on, you Pratt.
I think it is Pratt. I think it's
Quite glad Ferreira's not playing. I know he's been injured, but
yeah, but I think Castagna's had a great season, I've got to say.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Russ is agreeing with what I think a few of us have said for Giroud to come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
We've had a lot of
Especially-
set pieces.
I mean, that crossbar counter would be perfect. Someone like Giroud rather than Alonso trying to head it.
Yep, definitely.
Pulisic is warming up as well.
And especially with Leicester centre backs been absolutely awesome today. For Fafana in particular, and Soyuncu loves those headers. So that Chelsea haven't got anyone to really compete against them, have they?
No.
Sorry, Leicester corner. So Vardy's warming up and he just keeps on
And
getting.
he's starting to get into the game a bit more. I mean, Tielemans has put some brilliant balls in this game so far to him. So want a bit more from him. I think all Brighton's been a bit quiet in the attacking sense, but we know he's crossing ability when he gets a chance. So
Nacho as well has been a bit not really done much in this game.
I was literally about to say, just you said, I don't remember seeing getting on the ball once yet.
Yeah, no.
When he does, though, it'll be a moment of brilliance.
Yeah, just now we had twat one.
I mean, when he left City, everyone was shocked at how bad he was because he was hardly doing anything, and then all of a sudden, last season he just and especially certainly the start of this season, switch was on, and he's just been banging them in left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
he's always one of those at City where he was coming off the bench and stuff, and even when he joined Leicester, but this must be his longest run in a starting 11 in his career.
Yeah.
And that's not, and obviously,
That's nice.
Another corner.
but obviously when you get the chance, you got to take it, and fucking hell, fair play to him. He's their, you have to say they're key player.
Because when he left City, he was on loan at Leicester first, wasn't it? Before they signed him on a permanent, if I remember right, wasn't it? Or was it West Brom?
Rings a bit. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. But I think they paid a bit of money for him, about 20 odd mil, which is a hefty amount of money.
Because I remember him leaving on loan first before he actually got a permanent deal.
Exactly right, Terry.
Looking very laid back there, mate.
Can you see me then? Oh, I'm on. Where am I? Oh, me. You know what? It took me nearly an hour to get this piece of crap working.
we saw it try in the first half valiantly, but then it just failed at the last minute.
Good cross.
Oh, hang on, I'm moving the wrong way. There's Jack been rambling. The last time I heard the young girl speak, and that was it. All went dead. So I slung that laptop across the room, and it took me ages to fire this one up. This is the one Jack flogged me. 150 quid. It's useless. 150 quid he took off me.
Good lad, learning well. Typical Arsenal supporter, sell something shit for a lot of money.
That's about right. Yeah.
It's certainly Jack and Terry are certainly relaxed compared to the Villarreal game the other night.
Oh, I don't know. That was awful. That was.
Yeah.
Well, it's just nice to watch a game when you're just neutral.
Well, yes, and it's nice to see a game where both sides are actually trying to score goals.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, just starting to get more of a foothold in Leicester. Tielemans starting to get more touches, which, see from a Chelsea point of view, Wiz, you want to?
Oh.
Oh, what? Oh my God! That is awful, my friend.
Wow.
That is bad. That fucking pass back.
What a waste.
Here you go, Casper. Here you go, mate.
Here's a goal kick
That
for you.
class was shot on target.
Oh, it's good now.
I think the way it's gone, we're clutching at straws, and we're going to have to. scores, let's cross it. You know what I mean? It's Vardy though.
It is difficult. He's done nothing for about 2 months. Well, in front of goal.
Well, I mean, this game is screaming for another chapter in the Jamie Vardy story, isn't it?
Yeah. The longer it's 0-0, the more nervous we should be. We've been pretty dominant, but
Has the stats come up yet to say that both sides have had a shot on target yet, or?
Yeah. Let's see if they've blown the cobwebs off that one.
Oh, go on, he's got space here.
Oh my God!
Oh, what's it?
Well
That's how
controlled
you
by
score
Vardy.
in an FA Cup final. That is.
Talk about waiting for your first shot on target. That is unbelievable goal.
No one close.
The stats people are enjoying themselves now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a great experience.
The only thing is, did it hit his hand when he blocked it?
Yeah, I can see a few.
That's the shout. Literally, just as you asked the question, it's come up on while I'm watching it now. It's a shout. And Jesus, what a strike!
Ooh.
Bad clearance though. Thomas has got to get in. Has to get closed down. Oh, as soon as he hit it.
What a strike!
That is a beautiful.
Right.
Do you know what that would be if that goes to a review for it coming off his arm? That would be very, very harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
it's
goal
a
like
great
that.
goal.
It's
That
out.
Definitely a handball. I haven't even seen it in his hand, but it's definitely a handball.
Well, because his arm's up like that, so he's full. That'd be very, very harsh. To be fair, it'd be very harsh.
Is it slid in?
There's showing this celebration with the Leicester fans, and he has to be given.
Phew.
Good. That's
There we go.
Because it's not intentional. He's put his arm up because he knows it's coming to him, so he's trying to keep it as static
at the
as
start of
possible.
the season. That's being given as handball, but they've changed it recently, so it's good.
Well, it's not really changed it, but it's been a lot more lenient with it.
Yeah,
than
that's
they were.
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Jack. Yeah.
I said it earlier, guys. I don't know what handball is anymore. So, do you know what I mean? So, thankfully from a Leicester point of view, we're given. And talk about that's that definition of worth the wait. Hashtag worth the wait. Isn't it?
Jesus Christ, yes.
But yeah, I mean, Wiz. I mean, it was a brilliant goal. But I tell you what, talk about making it easy for Tielemans in terms of giving him the space and actually giving the ball away to Thomas in the first instance.
Yeah, it looks like it's it looks like something's gone wrong there. He wouldn't leave in that space and take that kind of risk too, all the way he's had us defending this year. So yeah, there you go. It reminds me a little bit with a gooner on here of Ray Parler's goal about blimey,
2002.
2000 was it? Yeah, 2002 final. Yeah,
that was against Chelsea, wasn't it?
It was. That's why I can remember it so well. Unfortunately. Incredible it was.
I'm
not sure it's quite that far out. Amazing.
Got the whole family in.
Leicester looking a lot better since the goal as well.
Yeah, massive confidence now.
It'd been coming before then. They'd started to get more of the ball, getting crosses in. Because the first sort of 10 minutes of the second half, Chelsea were carrying on from where they left off, really. But Leicester getting a foothold, and especially Tielemans was starting to get more of an influence, and obviously culminated in that brilliant goal.
I think Chelsea needs to change it now, though.
Yeah, this is where I'd expect to see Giroud. They'll go deeper and deeper, Leicester, and that's where Giroud comes into it.
I've got a question to ask you guys, but I'm not going to ask you it for another 20 minutes because I don't want to jinx the rest of this second half. So I'm not going to ask you.
Keepers
Can say or I think we're all stunned by that strike.
Well, it's not just that,
It's just handball.
Oh, it was a bit of a handball.
That a bit harsh, I think.
Oh,
well, it did come off his leg first, didn't it? So
yeah.
it's a great finish. That is.
That's that definition of top bins in soccer AM. That
Yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
no chance to Kepler that one.
It's a classic strike. I don't think he's going to score anything like that again for a long, long time, if ever. It's
and here comes Maddison.
beautiful.
What a time to score it as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Madison on for Iheanacho. He's been cool, but not a bad sub for Brendan Rodgers to make it this time.
Yeah,
So they'll get
hello.
that'll be Hardy running the channels, and they'll try and Madison will try and spring in. That's the rest of the game now.
Yeah, a couple of Chelsea subs as well.
Chilwell
Chilwell on for Ziyech and Alonso.
Just seeing the replay, what you guys have been watching, and yeah, I was right. He's got his arm like that because he's trying to get his arm out of the way because it bounces off his thigh before he's moving his arm up to try and get it out. So, yeah, that would have been harsh. That would have been harsh otherwise. Yeah, not a bad idea.
They've changed something in Chelsea, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're just saying a few minutes ago, as you know, Iheanacho's hardly been. Bless you, Jack. Iheanacho's been relatively invisible for this game, so it's right to put Maddison on in his place.
Yeah, not a bad replacement, though.
Mm. Do you reckon Evans might limp up the steps to get his medal? Either winner or loser.
Well, I think if they win, obviously it will. But if they lose, he might just say no, I'm all right. So result dependent, I'd say, on that. An answer to that.
I've heard if we win, John Terry's got his shin pads on ready.
He's got them on already. Yeah. That was the best bit that was the best bit of the
amazing.
Because I mean, there's one thing putting your shorts and your socks on, but actually put your shin pads on as well. That's just
I think no one knows whether that is true, but I love it.
No, it is true.
He was. No, you could see it on the
shin pads.
Celebrations. Yeah,
that's legit. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Oh, I love it. I think
it was on A League of Their Own, and that image came up with him with the trophy. Yeah. And I think James Corner pointed out, "You've got your shin pads on." He said, "Yeah, I did."
It's like with Rob Green celebrating in the Europa League final as well. It's like, mate, you didn't touch the ball throughout the entire competition.
And going back to '99, David May for Man United.
Yes, I forgot about that. Actually, you're right on that one. Yeah.
David May on someone's shoulders for the European Cup. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Chelsea have got possession back.
Yeah, just not creating anything.
Yeah, just dropping off.
Exactly, innit?
This is more like Brad Rodgers has played really this year.
Yeah.
The sort of swashbuckling Liverpool days went out the window a little bit. But
yeah,
there's no tripping over anymore, is there? There's no falling over, so you're all good on that.
Hey!
Sorry, Jack, couldn't resist that one, mate. Sorry.
That's the thing, no.
Challenge by
that's one thing with Rodgers. Plan B and Plan C. Like Rodgers hasn't got. Well, Leicester defended so well.
Yeah, they have.
Especially when Rodgers to Liverpool, his plan A was splitting the centre backs, which was Skirtle and Sacco, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He only had one attack, and then when
he's just rolled his ankle, I think.
He's gone down there.
Yeah, Castagna's down. Yeah.
Castagna.
I think he rolled his ankle trying to keep the ball on. Probably it's painful. He'll be all right, hopefully.
Person he needs injured.
No, you don't need it. Certainly don't need another second injury today, Leicester.
Because that's it. That's the. Because is it still the rule for 4 substitutions in the FA Cup final, or was that only just for last season?
I don't know, actually.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
They've expanded it in the European competitions, but domestically, I'm not sure what it is.
So I'm just thinking if he goes off, that's one more substitution, and that's it. Leicester can't do anything; they just have to defend for their lives.
Yeah.
But as I said at the start of the stream, the start of this conversation was the fact that I was worried about Leicester's front three trying to get through the back three, but you know it's been very solid, very solid.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Chelsea corner though.
Chelsea trying to create an overlap, aren't they, with down that left hand flank?
you guys might have talked about this earlier. The really interesting thing I thought was James starting as a centre back, which I don't remember him doing under Tuchel before. But right sided centre back. He's being used in a Kyle Walker for England sort of way.
And I think he's played wing back most of the day because you've got Aspilicueta right centre back today.
Yeah,
so I think both sides are playing free. The midfield combination is a bit different, but they're both playing wing back systems.
Yeah.
Who's Pulisic a sub? Scored in the final last season. Another corner for Chelsea.
Is it throw?
Yeah, it's just they look a lot more eager though, which they need to be, obviously. So
Leicester dropped that little couple of yards deeper, I'd say, from what I've seen.
Oh, bad touch.
Oh, he still got it though. That's what the thing again. Oh, Madison Berg with a free kick there. My days.
I think there's a sniper in the ground there.
Yeah.
Not for the first time, mate.
He does get fouled, but my God, he made the most of that one.
Yeah.
My God.
Where's the goal again?
Oh yeah, won't get time to see this. Look away, Wiz.
Oh.
Epic goal.
I think it's what it needs to. Finger beauty. That's what the magic.
Madison with his shirt.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
You love that though, don't you? The passion players show. Some players just don't
Yeah.
show it anymore. It's all about money, but for some players, they still love it.
I mean, he's got great technique in his passing.
Cut off.
His play Tielemans, but even so, that is a brilliant goal.
It was a bit of a coup then getting it, really.
Yeah.
It's not like he wasn't fancied. Everyone knew who he was. And he's perfect for that. He can do a bit of everything. Well, he's just shown he can do a bit of everything.
Flash of heads.
Yeah, especially as he was on loan as well, and everyone had the opportunity to see what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And he still joined Leicester permanently. So
Yeah.
It just shows he's enjoying the football. That's the main important thing, isn't it?
No, exactly. Change for Chelsea. Havertz about to come on.
See, this is their last change if there's only 3, and I'm so surprised it's not Giroud. Yeah, that's really surprising.
Well, yes, and what about Tammy Abraham? Not even in the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's going to go somewhere and make us look a bit stupid at some point.
Yeah, we were saying about how we Tuchel just doesn't fancy him. He said in his press conference about a month ago that he needed to step up in some sort of way, and obviously that's not changed since then.
Yeah. Well, there seems to be a lot of rumours, 40 million, and
yeah. No, Jorginho's off for a
attacking change.
Well, it's got to be done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Been a good form, Havertz. Slow start of the season, had COVID and injuries and stuff, but he's starting to get back to the.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, so you can. Oh, so maybe it's 5.
It looks like you can, yeah. Since the restart of football following the first phase of the pandemic last year, teams have been able to make 5.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 5.
That's why I was asking the question, because I didn't see anything to say that it had been taken away, but you never know. But so yeah.
And
But
one
I
of
thought-
the sub if it goes to extra time.
I was going to say, so there's the extra for extra time as well. So, which this isn't looking like it's going to happen with that side of things. But
Yeah.
Well, famous last word. It's still 15 minutes.
I know. Bill, you know as well as I do, mate. The amount of football games we've watched with each other. Every time I say that, something happens, and then
Something happens. Yeah.
I mean, Hudson
Dave's just come off, Hudson
going to drive. Yeah, he's going to drive at the defence.
yeah. He was used as a wing back very early on in Tuchel's time. So
Who come off for Hudson-Odoi?
Dave Aspilicueta.
Nice for the quarter, yeah. Good change, yeah.
another talent.
So they're going to go forward at the back
as
then.
well.
Yeah, they're going to change the 4 at the back. You like the thing?
Yeah,
He's going very well. He gets the foul from Ndidi.
He's an incredible player. Every time I watch him, I just think he's everywhere.
What, Ndidi?
Yeah, I love him. Absolutely love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Tielemans just work, don't they? They just work as a midfield too.
Yeah.
Did they bring the player off that had the head injury? Because I think you can have 7 then, can't you? You can have an extra sub.
Concussion, but he's still on the pitch.
Both sides can swap at the same time. Yeah. But I think it was just a knock by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Update from Tony Jack's dodgy laptop.
Still got 150 quid for it, so I'll take it.
What was that? What was that TV show back in the day? The Real Hustle. I think
So you did well on that one, Jack. Definitely.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
what a save!
What a save!
Oh, great save.
great save.
Great save.
Oh.
Cash Schmeichel.
He's hurt his arm, but it was worth it.
Pushed the shoulder.
Chilwell, of all people, with the header.
Oh, what a save that is! Clawed it. Oh, it hit the post. Did he save it or did it hit the post?
He pushed. Oh, I think it might have gone in off the post if he hadn't.
Oh, he
He just got a touch on it, I think.
Yeah.
he got a touch on it.
I think that was going
Oh,
in.
he did. Oh, that was going in.
Yeah, what a save.
It might have been a posted in job, but yeah. Again, it's another one. Giroud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if that's Giroud, that's going in big time. Big time.
But yeah, Chilwell, it's not his game, but Eden, but no, very good attempt.
And just saw the build up of it. Just you guys were talking about it. Hudson-Odoi pretty much started that movement between him and Pulisic. Between the two of them, got up to Kante, and that was very good movement. Very good movement. Yeah, you're right, Ollie. That's going in off the post. That big time.
100%. Yeah, they need their subs to make an impact. Chelsea.
11 minutes.
They're in the game straight away.
There's the
I
midget.
never get the players can chew gum while running. I'll definitely inhale it.
I feel I'd swallow it and choke myself.
I'd definitely
It's the
breathe
Allardyce Training Centre, isn't it? It's the Allardyce Training Centre. That's how they do it.
Who was there back? Oh, Gary Megson was another one as well when it was at West Brom.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And Wenger used to do it every now and again as well. I remember seeing him chewing.
Yeah.
Well, if he wasn't chewing, he was playing with his zip.
Yeah. You beat me to it, Jack.
Yeah.
I love that on what was it? Sky Sports' Premier League moments, and that bit of it with his doing the zip up, and it's got Alanis Morissette's "One Hand in My Pocket" song as he's doing it. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, old school clearance by Soon. That's a Rose Ed job, that was.
Give the fans the ball. They get that back.
Soyuncu does look like he's been pulled from like a 1986 Partizan Belgrade team. He looks old school, no mucking about.
He's one of them on Football Manager, no nonsense centre back.
Yeah. he's been incredible. Wesley Fofana as well. I mean, they've got some amazing players.
Yeah, he's been brilliant this season and this game. Absolutely outstanding.
The midfield and the back three of Leicester have kept Chelsea very quiet for a lot of things. Very quiet.
Well.
Yeah, they've done their job really well. But still 10 minutes to go. Gonna be tough.
Still time.
Or is that Giroud running back? I think that was Giroud running back there, so I think he might be coming on.
Yeah, unless Tuchel's shit. We're going, you're not coming on.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's
just go and warm up. Just go and warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming on.
So no, you're not coming on today.
That could be good for Chelsea. He's coming on. So
set piece wise, I think that will help them make a lot more of it because they're getting the ball in the box.
Yeah. I mean, look where they are now, out wide. It's just perfect for him.
That's the thing. There's two chances from headers in this second half of Chelsea. One's gone to Alonso, and the other one's gone to Chilwell. So,
Yeah.
Chilwell, I think
That's a great job just getting in the way. It's getting something on it every single cross.
And they've defended for their lives, and obviously have to adapt because Evans just went off injured. And here we go. Is Giroud coming on?
Yeah, same way.
And just going back with what we were saying earlier, mate, was about Chilwell's an odds on for the Euros now, isn't he? His performance this season overall.
I would say so. I think he has to be. He has to be at least second choice left back. I think Luke Shaw. People are on the Luke Shaw train, aren't they? And I think he's been very good in fairness.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'd say is Chilwell now's got a lot more experience playing in a 5.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how that's going. I'm not sure what Southgate's going to do. I don't know whether he have the courage to play 4-3-3, which I think has been the best system he's played. But that takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, a couple of changes for Leicester. Morgan's on for Thomas and Chowdhury on for Perez. So
he looks massive, doesn't he, Wes Morgan?
He does.
A fight with him.
yeah, he's a
He looks bigger than the last time I saw him as well, man. It's really huge.
I think for his pre-match meal, he had some diesel because he's an absolute tank, isn't he?
There's a 30-yarder from Rudiger.
He must have been training with Antonio, I think, or something. But Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, was that Rudiger with a 30-yard shot?
Yeah. I don't know. I usually trust him from over 30 yards, but that's terrible.
Put the lockdown belly on Tierney.
I think it was 29.3 yards. So
that makes sense.
That's right off. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That number of passes, 420
Yes.
Chelsea, 232 for Leicester.
They are.
Passes inside the final third, 118 versus 27.
Yeah, but the most important stat is the most important stat one above it, the scoreline.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that just shows that Chelsea have plenty of the ball and they've kept the ball decently. But in terms of shots on goal, that's what's been lacking.
Yeah.
I think if anything, after the injury, they coped with this better. I think the first 15, we were opening up, not at will, but we got in a lot of dangerous positions. And I think that's been the story probably of the last 2 years, really, of us being profligate and, not taking our chances, lack of, incisiveness and quality.
That's probably the one area where Tuchel, obviously the defence has improved drastically since he took over, but the attacking wise, it hasn't quite clicked, has it?
Not yet. I think it's partly a question of the style when he wanted to, we had real problems with defenders making individual errors. And Ashley Cole was asked before the game, how has he made them better defensively? And he sort of huffed and puffed. Having an extra defender helps. Having one more person back there helps is one thing. And actually being able to coach a press helps, which Lampard, who I love, obviously, but he couldn't.
No.
We'd press aggressively without any organisation. So suddenly, the best player at moving the ball from the best ball progressor would have the ball in space. And that is where we consistently, we gave good chance. We didn't give many chances, but we give good chances. And then when our defenders were isolated, they were vulnerable.
Vardy. Oh, Silva does well to come back.
Defending. It's going to suit Leicester, though, isn't it? This.
Love it, everybody. He's still got that full-length mentality. He's going
so angry. That face.
Fucking love that. That's brilliant.
What would have been even better if he'd done that with no fans in the stadium?
Just giving it to the steward.
He's completely lost his mind.
Guys, as I'm a few seconds behind you, they've just been showing some shots of the fans. And there's an Leicester fan going really crazy. And there's a Chelsea fan look like he's about to have a nervous breakdown.
They've got a few up in this corner, so.
Still got those Chowdhury's coming.
Oh.
Vardy with the flick.
They won't mind that. That's first back at Tuchel's end. They won't mind that at all. 5 minutes to go. I'll stop it.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
I shall see you later. All right, see you later, girls. Bye.
Be very disappointing for Chelsea if they lose this and the Champions League final.
Yeah.
Being two finals, and this is one that obviously they were favourites as well, so it's gonna hurt.
We've done well, but we've got absolutely no divine right to win anything at all. None. And if you're a Chelsea fan, you're like, you can't your blessings. You see us even in the league, I suppose.
Well, this is the thing. This comes out perfectly timing to when I was because I wanted to ask this question 20 minutes ago, and I'm going to ask the question now because obviously this fixture is going to happen in a few days' time. Are we going to see this? Are we going to see the same reverse, or are we going to see something totally different in the Premier League fixture?
I would personally agree that almost exactly the same game.
Schmeichel.
That's two big saves from Schmeichel. That
brilliant save. Yeah, Mason Mount up for the first time making an impact. That's great.
That is beautiful save. That's
world class. That is Schmeichel's second great save in this matter of 10 minutes.
I think they say it's a good height, but that's a good save.
But it's the power, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Hudson-Odoi starting everything off again.
You've seen that strike again. It's on the half volley. Oh, what a
great
save.
save. I mean,
brilliant save.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's really well mounted with his left foot, and that's fingertips, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought.
Well, no, you see the overhead shot. He's completely over it, but yeah, he's really well timed. Really well timed.
Yeah, great save from Chilwell from the header, and then save from Mount there. So Michael's keeping Leicester in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that?
That's a couple of minutes.
Yeah, very good save.
Yeah, they're knocking on the door. Chelsea just needs
very much.
Need to keep plugging away.
It's really like watching the Arsenal game from Wednesday. Where is it? Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah. Honestly, that game was just awful.
Yeah, well, at least the goal didn't come from a mistake today.
Yeah, it's just a great strike.
No, it's both, I suppose, were kind of out of the ordinary occurrences. But there you go.
I mean, there is an argument. As great as that save is, there is an argument because you can see from the replays how much of a hand Michael gets on it. He could have had both hands on that. Technically, he could have done. There was no need for that. No need for that corner.
Oh, I don't think so, John. The way
Oh my God! It's him!
Oh my God!
Chilwell.
It was Chilwell,
I'm about 5 seconds behind you. Come on.
Wait, was that a Wes Morgan own goal?
It's hand to Morgan, so I don't know if he attempts.
Go on, Chris James, smash the camera up. Smash it up. Lob it out of the stadium.
You see the replay.
Out of I'd been coming in there to save
As my mate who's a Liverpool fan would say, justice for dads.
We
deserve that.
Or is that offside? Is that offside?
You know what? I think he might be offside, you know.
It looks offside. Actually, you've seen it now.
Oh my God!
It looks offside.
Yeah, Chilwell does really well, and
I think his shoulder might be offside. It is a Chilwell goal, isn't it? It comes.
Yeah, it's offside.
He's off. Oh, that is
off.
I don't believe it.
It's very close, but it's offside.
No need for the extra lines on that one.
Unbelievable scene.
Where are we?
Oh yeah, that's it. There it is.
Oh,
offside.
that's close.
Yeah, it's been given. Yeah, offside.
It is. It's a gnat's breadth, but he's offside.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? Imagine that's just.
That's shown VAR worked really well on that one. That was clearly
Well,
off.
it is, you know, you can't.
That was clearly off.
Like
Did I hear someone say that was clearly off?
It's not clearly off at all.
I mean,
anyway,
that's pretty close. That's pretty
To be
close.
fair,
It's that.
Maybe it's off. It's off.
That.
yeah.
I don't have any complaints, but
With the lines, it looks very tight. When you burst it,
there, man, it's ridiculous. It's there. Do you know what I mean? It's like that much. But that's the rules, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what we live in now. So
you can see it. You see it. He's literally just his shoulders offside, and by the rules, if it's a body part you can score from, you're offside. You're offside.
yeah, it's not like it's like being pregnant. Eh? You can't be a little bit pregnant. You're pregnant or you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
do you know what? That's actually a good little example. That one.
Ollie, come back. He didn't mean it.
Oh,
5 minutes of extra time as well. Jesus
5
Christ.
minutes stoppage time. We've had 1 minute of it already.
Yeah.
He's Pulisic dropping deep to collect it.
That's poor from Leicester, though, isn't it? That ball.
Whoa, that's a bit of a tasty one on Vardy. Pushing him right over like that.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Right.
Rim jumping.
Froze.
Let it go.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
He's loving it. The fans are loving it.
It's unreal.
It's hard to pick who's going to be man of the match.
Well, I think at the moment it's got to be the goal scorer, surely.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, one of the defenders should get it as well. But Fofana's been
for me, I'd say.
Beast.
Mount's in for a good shout, man of the match as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people say Schmeichel because of the saves he's been doing.
Yes.
As well, it's it's not been much, granted, but
2 key saves, especially
I think they'll give it to Tielemans, but I'd go Soyuncu off Fofana personally. But
yeah, it's like an important goal.
Fair shout, yeah.
No, cheers for coming on, Jack. Who's in this playing up?
Yeah, nice to meet you, Jack, mate.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, mate.
Meet you.
And yeah, very close. Yeah, very close.
Very close offside. Yeah.
We're just panning to the Leicester fans who are
dancing.
Dodgy dancing.
There it is. Foil.
Oh, there's the cup.
There we are. Wait, there's
the
tinfoil FA Cup.
Yeah, see, I told you, didn't I? I told you.
Brilliant.
Every single time.
And then there's another one's full kit wanker. That's got to be ticked off, surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
Saw someone there flinging their mask in celebration.
There we are. 2 minutes to go. Oh, indeed, he hoofs out the pitch.
Still tapping.
And Vardy somehow gets it as well.
That's my Vardy, though. He managed to shout out of the corner. He's loving life.
Look at his face. That little glance over the shoulder.
You take Vardy at non-league, but you can't take non-league out of Vardy. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Have you seen the thing where he's the first ever player to play in every single round?
Yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to say, it's definitely Chelsea ball.
Yeah,
even Madison didn't look convinced, putting his hand up like...
Just about a minute, 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, and they're doing well. Leicester make it, they're keeping them far down the pitch. So
I don't think Hudson-Odoi is going to be getting that ball back from the fans somehow.
That's definitely the Leicester crowd that it's fallen into. He's got to smash it up the pitch.
Seconds.
I mean, you got Giroud up. It's weird they brought Giroud on.
Not for the first time.
Take it to the corner.
You're absolutely right there, mate. You're absolutely spot on. Since they brought the ball in, they've not crossed it once. They've been doing it all the 80-odd minutes beforehand. He comes on and it's like, no, you're right. No, you're right, mate.
Yeah, I know. It's just like Giroud comes on and I genuinely think there's not been any cross. Vardy, I love that.
Honestly, play on.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
You're absolutely right there, Jack. So, Ollie, just sit there, mate. It's fine. You're right. You're good.
Is Chilwell crosses it in? Giroud goes up for it. Oh, Morgan.
Where's Morgan? Showing his how massive he is. He's just huge.
He's a mental case.
It's got to be it. This got to be the last play. Oh, Giroud. That's got to be it.
I think Giroud's one ahead of you.
It's done.
That's it.
There it is. It's over. Great win for Leicester.
Leicester won the FA Cup for 2021.
Brendan Rodgers' little face. Buzzing.
Brendan Rodgers' first trophy in English football.
Yeah,
that's got to be his. I think that's his biggest win as a manager. So,
and it's not just that as well. This is the first time that Leicester have won it as well. It's a historical event. It really is.
A lot of crying going on.
They're shocked that some of the Leicester fans, the fairy tale for the last few years continues. Yeah. And now what an unbelievable goal to win it as well.
Yes.
Yeah, unreal.
I mean, he's a top player, isn't he, Tielemans?
I mean, it's all about a goal to win a final, and that definitely is right up there, you have to say.
I mean, Schmeichel was saying beforehand that he's dreamt about winning the FA Cup like his dad did beforehand and stuff. So he must be on cloud 9. Cloud 28 is probably nearer the point how he's feeling at the minute. Watching his dad. Watching his dad in the FA Cup finals and winning games because of what the saves he's been doing, and it's a David Martin type. I reckon at the minute. I reckon that's how he's feeling.
Yeah.
I generally reckon that's how he's feeling at the minute.
I think as well for Leicester, it's a win for their obviously their RIP to their owner. So it's a good win for them. I just saw the picture there, and I saw is that his son? I think
Yeah,
I think that's
so
right.
obviously it's a big for them as well.
exactly. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, no
Oh, there's
time.
Tammy. Tammy's there.
It is there. Just not any
With the fans.
It's not on bench.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. Yeah, beautiful. Foxes deserve that for the last couple of years. Yeah, 100% proper run club. Deserve every success they get.
Yep.
Yeah, see the emotional Jamie Vardy's face.
Yeah. Schmeichel looks over the moon.
Yeah,
I think as well. I was just saying, I think as well for Vardy, as obviously he started in non-league, and that's the FA Cup is massive for obviously the non-league footballers. So I think it means a lot more to him as well.
2 cups in 5 years he's won now, isn't it? That's
it's 2 of the biggest as well, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, no, I can't get over how brilliant that goal was. Honestly, it's absolutely outrageous. Yeah, he certainly got that in his locker, Tillemans, with it. He's a very good technician, but still to do that in the final, hit it that well, and for Kepa to get absolutely nowhere near it, even diving at full stretch as well, right in the top corner.
I'd love to be able to blame Kepa, but I just can't really for that.
No, you can't. No. Even his harshest critics can't criticise him for that.
And I am his harshest critic.
I'm sure someone will say they'll blame him for his height. If he's a bit taller, he would have saved that. I'm sure someone will say that.
Just brilliant that the fans actually there today as well.
Yeah.
Leicester fans can then soak it up. And the players are going over to him. Yeah. What would you guys make of the final itself? I think obviously just the one goal, but I thought it was pretty decent on quality, I have to say.
Yeah, I think both sides gave it a really good go. I think it could have gone either way, to be honest, couldn't it? It was just the last-ditch tackles and blocks that stopped there being more goals. Plenty of action. Yeah, brilliant. Good final.
Exactly. John?
Yeah, can't disagree. As I say, we were saying at the end, at the half-time, that everything was missing, everything was right but a goal. And that's exactly the same for the second half. Would have been nicer to have little bit more of a few more goals in it, of course, but it was end to end, tackles going in left, right, and centre. Nobody giving up on balls at all. It was perfect. It was a perfect cup final.
It was going. Wiz, as a Chelsea fan, obviously disappointed, but do you feel that it was a harsh result, or do you feel Leicester deserved it?
I think if you played that game with the chances that both sides had, again, we would win it 9 out of 10. But that means nothing. So, you can't complain. And you see the quality of the strike. And I think if you can't find some part of you that enjoys that, and I'm a Chelsea fan, then you don't like football. You have to respect it, because those are the type of goals you don't see as many of them anymore. And it was a really, really tactical game, really, really tight. I thought we might win it 1-0. And I thought, especially early on, we could sneak this. But it was really tactical, and I'd rather it be, they always say, I think, in these type of games, that we decided by mistake or a piece of absolute individual brilliance, and I'd much prefer it to be the latter, having watched the Arsenal game on Wednesday. So good luck to them, and it's not like they're Manchester City or Tottenham or someone. So I'm not totally bitter about it. I sort of think, well, it is Leicester, and they are, they're a great club, and they've had a great recent history. So good luck to them. And Rodgers, I'm pleased for as well.
Yeah, no, good time, Leicester. It's not like they're Chelsea were massive favourites. I think it was one of those where it was a sort of 50-50 final.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Jack, overall, mate?
I think I'm a bit disappointed at Chelsea. I didn't think they had enough of a go, because in the Arsenal game a few days ago, they at least pinned us back and they were whipping in crosses every single second. But as soon as Giroud came on, like I said, they just didn't cross the ball, and I think a lot of that was Leicester. Just they didn't get pinned back, and they played really well. It was a good, like I think Wizard said, it's a great tactical game, and a bit of brilliance separates the two sides. So yeah, it was I think Leicester. I think Chelsea obviously should have taken a couple of their chances. Obviously, they scored the offside goal, but I think Leicester they'll not deserved it, but tactically wise, they were very good.
Yeah, I thought they put in an amazing defensive shift.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Throwing to one pretty much every header. I think Fofana was absolutely amazing throughout. Even despite, and even Evans, I thought he was playing pretty well before he went off injured, and that didn't really affect Leicester at all. Because it's weird the amount of injuries that had to take place in finals. Jack, who was on earlier, Liverpool fan, obviously. I think 2005 Champions League, Harry Kewell went off in the first half, and then. I think it was Pulisic went off in the final last season?
Yeah, last year he did. He got off. And Azpilicueta as well.
Yeah, so it's weird, but it didn't affect Leicester at all. So
I think they looked a bit better actually, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, Leicester. Just looking at some numbers, Leicester 22 clearances in the game, 15 blocks, 13 interceptions. A massive. I mean,
everything on the line.
Fofana, the amount of headers they won last ditch as well. So. Absolutely fantastic. Cassius Schmeichel's being interviewed. Couldn't hear the question. He had to go back.
Which is brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, I wonder who they're going to pick as man of the match. I said it earlier that there's a lot of candidates to pick from, particularly from a Leicester point of view.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't Thiele.
Yeah.
They usually go to the goal scorer, didn't they? But he actually played really well throughout, apart from the goal as well.
Fofana, though, I think Fofana deserves it, but I think they'll give it to Tielemans.
Yeah, I agree. I think overall, Fofana or Soyuncu should get it, but I think they probably will give it to Tielemans. But I think he had, especially in the second half, he had a growing influence with his passing forward. He put some good crosses, and obviously he got the goal. But aside from his general play and his defensive display with alongside Ndidi, that really helped Leicester today as well. So, but it's probably why in the end Leicester got over the line, because some of their players play better than the Chelsea counterparts. As simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we bought Ziyech into one of our major problems last season was creativity, and we continuously kick at the door and not be able to kick it in. But I think I would like to have seen again that incision from him today. But it's sort of nice, I like the numbers part of the game, but it's nice to see that for all the kind of analysis of players, scouting, all the money that the big so-called big clubs can throw at things, that it's Leicester who got Fofana, it's Leicester who got Tielemans. But Fofana is an incredible player. I know Ruben Diaz has been absolutely outrageous. I totally agree with that. But Fofana for me has been, I think, at least as good, and he's younger, was much less heralded before he came over. Yeah. So I think I'd like to see him be really in the mix for Young Player of the Season. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's the scary thing is he's only going to get better.
Yeah. He's scary.
Yeah, you've got some fabulous players, Leicester.
Let's hope they don't drop the cup like we did last year.
Bamiyang, wasn't it? He didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was doing. They even said to him, "Take the base off," and he thought he was, so he took it with him. What's Brendan doing?
He's saying we don't let this slip. He's just going, we don't let this slip. I don't know what that means, but it's really weird.
Oh, he's pointing to, is it the owner? Oh, he's trying to get the owner to come down. He's trying to get it to come down.
Oh, that's great touch.
Which is brilliant. Honestly, it's brilliant. Yeah, as well, that one.
I thought he was going to get his envelopes out and say, right, no one's let me.
You're here. You're not.
Yeah, they're bringing the owner down. Yeah. Was Vardy?
Was Vardy?
Yeah. Oh, was it not the owner? Was it? Oh, he was waiting for those two, not the owner.
Like, what a great touch! Waiting for the owner. It's just Vardy.
Oh, I thought it was the owner. That would have been brilliant if he just gets him coming down. But
yeah,
great celebrations there.
That's what football.
Look at Madison's face.
Yeah, but this is the absolute definition of magic of the FA Cup, isn't it? Hashtag magic of the cup, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Brilliant.
And that's what I'm saying.
A second ago.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying about this being a proper cup final is that celebration. It's just it shows what it means to everybody.
It's contrast actually to the situation where everybody was talking about a few weeks ago.
Open the camera,
I was going to say it's a contrast to the scenes a few weeks ago, or ongoing scenes to do with the Super League, and you see a competition which goes down to the very lowest level, very, very lowest level, but whatever 9th, 10th tiers of football in this country, and every side in it's got a chance of winning it.
Yeah.
And then you go and then you contrast that with a situation where a few so-called big boys want to kind of close the gates on everybody else and almost render the rest of the English game irrelevant. It's the exact opposite. So it's it's fitting.
Yeah. Never been more important, I think, for a bit of an underdog to win the FA Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And what more underdog level can you get than a team that's never won it since the competition started? Much less as we were talking earlier before, and they haven't been to Wembley in 60 odd years. It's incredible.
Apart from winning the League Cup at the end of the century, but in terms of FA Cup, they haven't been there for a while.
Was that not in the Millennium Stadium?
They haven't been to the new Wembley anyway.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't been at Wembley since.
But yeah,
Chilwell's still out on the pitch.
Yeah,
have to get their medal, don't they? That must be.
Oh yeah, of course.
Hopefully, he remembers what side he plays for.
It's kind of sad. Well, not sad, but it must be so frustrating for like Chelsea because they have to stay there to get the medal. So it's just they have to watch.
Yeah, you just want to fuck off, don't you?
You just want to go home. Here we go. We'll see. Look at them.
Look at those faces. Everyone's arms crossed, literally like giving us the medal.
Poor old Dave. Dave couldn't be. I mean, Dave's face, I didn't know his face could do that.
That has got to be clipped and memed. That has to be.
Yes, Jack. It's funny on Twitter as we speak. Yeah, here's one from Jack. One question has been labelled at Rodgers as that tag for not winning trophies. Could that be? Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, you won a trophy in English football before. Now, yeah. So, which is great. I'd say for Leicester and Rodgers.
I'm always very suspicious of anyone who's. I remember when Poch left Spurs and they got Jose, and someone saying, "Well, Jose's a better manager on the basis of the fact that he's won some trophies." I haven't asked that person what they think now, admittedly, but I would be interested.
Yeah,
but Rodgers, I thought Rodgers did a pretty good job at Liverpool. I know he had.
No, I agree.
Absolutely, like an alien playing for him for one season. He just couldn't miss a goal. I'm not sure I've seen anything like that, but still, they came so close. Incredibly close.
With a team that were not even talked about getting in the Champions League places that season.
That's what's forgotten, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
and it's quite nice watching them get the medals on the pitch rather than the usual pomp and circumstance that comes with it. But it is nice. It is better actually because it gives it more sort of because you're not leaving where you want it. You're not leaving.
Yeah, I prefer it. Walking up the.
There we go. Smog's about to lift the cup.
Oh, come on, bring the base with you and drop it, lad.
Yeah, he's taking the base with him, so he's all right on this occasion. Going over to his him and West.
Wait, are they what? No, they're just walking.
There we go.
Hey.
Oh, I like that they both lifted it because obviously Wes Morgan was captain. He is their main captain, isn't he? So look at this.
I'm glad he left the base because otherwise you could see what happened in was it when Man City won it? It was all of us. What was it with? Was it Aguero that lifted it up and the base just fell down?
Aubameyang last season.
That's it. Yeah, sorry, Aubameyang.
He dropped it.
Who's going? What do I do here? It's like just take the trophy, man.
At least though, I think he dropped it on purpose so the memes could be that Arsenal have dropped more trophies than Tottenham have won. Intentional. He did that on purpose. Yeah, he did that on purpose. I'll tell you something. They're giving it to Iheanacho. He is one of the main reasons they won it this season. Yeah, he scored some big goals.
He's been in good form in the league and he scored a few goals in their run to the final. So it weren't quite his day today, but I think he's played well over this season, all competitions.
Well, if you said Leicester would be in the position they're in now, winning the FA Cup, like I don't want to say favourites to be in the Champions League, but a really good chance of being in the Champions League qualification. And you said Jamie Vardy will score 1 goal in however many, 18, is it? 20, yeah. So crazy. Ian actually has been pretty big. I thought he would do well just because at the City he looked like an absolute killer. Like he'd always be in the right place, and you thought he could be really good. And he's kind of really showing it now, which is nice.
Because we were talking about this earlier, because when we were saying about him going out on loan and stuff, because he absolutely nailed it when he was on loan, got his contract, and then all of a sudden he just seemed to get off the boil a little bit. But having said that, last 2-3 seasons he's really built himself up as a decent player now.
It's hard for any player though, if you're not a regular in the starting 11, it's hard to get that momentum and play to full potential where you're getting 20 minutes a game.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he's started. It must be his longest run in the starting 11 in his whole career. So that's not a coincidence. Since that's happened, he's turned in for his best goal scoring form as well.
Yeah.
The individual players lifting the trophy now. I haven't seen Brendan Rodgers lift it yet.
No, I haven't either, actually.
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
The lid came off. The lid came off as they Ishmael. Has anyone else seen it yet? He goes flying behind them. Look at them all looking shocked behind Schmeichel as it falls. Every time.
Yeah.
I must admit, we've just seen Rodgers. He's like that. It's like, come on, let me do it.
Right, I better head off. Lovely to chat to you all.
Thank you, Ollie. Good to see you.
Mentally prepare myself before the West Ham game.
Well, it's an half hour's time, yeah. All right, thanks for coming on, Lily.
Lovely to see you all. Take care. Have a good one.
See you. Bye.
Yeah, there's the owner on the pitch.
Brilliant, yeah.
Well, that's a throwback. That's Christian Fuchs on the pitch. There's a full kit wankered. He's got his suit on, so he hasn't got his shin pads on. Don't worry, lads. There's the owner and Brendan Rodgers embracing. That's great to see.
Brilliant, yeah.
Trophy's bigger than Rodgers.
Probably, yeah. Honestly, it's not surprising. Look at Vardy, he's just there. He's loving it.
Well, the owner's
looks emotional.
Great scenes.
Oh,
that's what football's about. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Our dreams can come true if we only have the fight to pursue them. That's a beautiful sentiment.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Well, that just shows an owner that actually supports the club, isn't it? You know. So
yeah. And it's not just that; they're like the city owners as well. They've been heavily invested in the local communities as well. They've improved training grounds. They've improved facilities for the public. The whole lot. It's really good. It's really good.
Shot the goal again.
No, I won't get tired. Well,
Wiz will.
Okay, if just watching that again, you watch Jorginho do the same thing he always does, which is to point at someone he wants marked.
Yeah, mark him yourself.
No,
he doesn't get across quick enough. Yeah, even if he got there, I don't think.
No, but it's you try and look for what you could do, can't you, and try and be positive in that sense. And could we have been more proactive in what we do? But I think as I
FA Cup final goals.
It'll go down in the highlights reels for many years. And rightly
I mean,
so.
from Wizard, from your point of view, mate, you look at your back two there. There's so much space inviting him to score from that side of things. But
Look at Madison.
Look at Gary. Yes, Gary. Yes, Gary. That's a proper celebration. Even he wanted to join in with the fans there.
Yeah,
that's quality, man.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and I think Tuchel's have got a real attention to detail, but I don't remember. I'm trying to think. I think Tielemans scored one other goal from distance, but I think sometimes you do have to just go, chalk balls out the window, tactics out the window. Someone's just, done something magical.
Yeah,
we gave him more space, but how many people? How many shots? Well, I know people are suspicious of things like expected goals, but I'd love to know what the XG is on that. I guess it's like 0.02 or something, because it's a absolute worldie. You don't see goals like that every day, and as I say, because of that, it makes it almost easier to, because it's special. It's a special way to lose a game if there is such a thing. But
exactly. Yeah. Wasn't that a similar distance whiz from Di Matteo's from a similar distance in '97? Was it
97? That was. Would have been similar distance. That was a beauty. The one in 2000 was awful, like scuff goal. But awful because David James dropped the ball right at his foot. I think he kind of like threw it into Gareth Southgate, and then he just went, "Oh, they're attacking." Yeah, something like that. It was brilliant. But it's it's just one of those things. I think you have to accept it. I hope there isn't too many Chelsea fans out there kind of being really bitter about it. You've got to accept it's football. You've got to accept it. We've been
I think Chelsea had
outrageously lucky to support Chelsea. So,
Yeah, and I think Chelsea had, if it weren't for, we mentioned Soyuncu and Fofana and obviously a couple of brilliant saves from Schmeichel, they would have at least taken it to extra time today.
Yeah.
And the offside, I think the Harry Kane one I watched the other day probably was closer than that, but it can't get a lot closer than that. And that's, again, sometimes those things go your way. And if you can't handle those random things happening in those, or the moments of magic, then I don't know how you could live watching football. You'd have a breakdown.
Exactly.
You've got to live with that as a fan. And sometimes, Messi has a penalty saved against him and Barca have 90% possession, and you end up beating them in the Champions League final and winning it against all odds. You got to be realistic and take the rough with the smooth. And
just showed us like the Schmeichel save.
That is a great save.
It's better every time you see it. Oh, Dave. Yeah, what a save.
Right, chaps, I need to go because I need to prepare for the West Ham game.
I think we'll finish up now. So thanks, Jack, Wiz, and John for joining, and thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to Gash Football if you're new, and like this stream if you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.